What's up, everybody? If anyone's here, let's see, one other person, maybe. Nope, just me. One other person, maybe. Nope, just me. Well, anyhow, let me get started with some stuff here. I got my notes. I wrote them. I do Castle like drawing shit, but my notes right here. Okay, first off, the cost to mine shit. This ought to get you to want to look at platinum. From what I've discovered, the cost to mine silver, $13, $14 an ounce, goes for over 20. How's it going, Wealth of Nations? So, they're making a profit. Gold, Google search, around $800-900 to produce an ounce of gold. It's going for 2,000 something. So they're making some money. Platinum costs $1,200 to mine an ounce. They're selling it for less than 1,000. Okay, another way to look at this. If you're going to buy precious metals based off of financial reasons, whatever, if it costs less to buy it than it costs to mine it, your number one buy is platinum, because you can get platinum for less than the cost of mining. Again, it costs gold, they're making about $1,000 profit per ounce, a little more. Silver, they're making about $8 to $10, $11 an ounce profit from the cost to mine, mint, and all this other stuff from my research that I discovered. So obviously the best buy would be platinum, hands down, no argument. So it's just another aspect, another way to look at investing in things. And as far as undervalued goes, you can't get any more undervalued than it being less than the cost it takes to produce it. Silver and platinum, those guys are making pretty good money off of the price of it, considering the price it costs to mine it and mint it. All right. What's up, JM? Does anyone want to come up? I don't know. I guess I could do that. Hold on a second here. See how I pin this crap. I'll figure it out. Hold on a second here, guys. Let's see if I can pin this Bostages. Pin. Okay, I think that was it. I'll also put it in here. What's up, Homestead? Long live coins. Nice to have you back. All right. Anyhow, that was a small rant on why platinum's the best investment out there for the price that you pay for it. Okay, my next thing, I've heard a couple little things about, I've had this question on this migrant train, actually migration worldwide. And I'm looking at the UN, and I'm hearing talk, and I'm hearing bits and pieces about how they think basically the UN seems to be funding this train coming through America. So if that is true, it makes me wonder if certain party made a deal with the UN, the world, whoever the hell they are, those unelected people that seem to be running things, and got a lot of money from them to open up our border. Kind of sort of seems, without being a politician, without being an investigator, it seems like that's a logical conclusion to jump to. How could one jump to any other conclusion? Because I've always asked the question, And if I'm poor and I want to come, I'm in El Salvador, Nicaragua, and I want to come to America, and I'm walking for 2 months, where am I getting my food and water? How am I getting through the borders of all these countries? When if you Google search the Mexican southern border, there's a big ol' ass fence someone has to open up to let these people through and walk through about 1,800 miles of Mexican territory, giving them food, water, and shelter along the way. And if America's paying a majority of the bill for the UN to exist, and it is actually found out to be true that they're funding that human train of whatever's coming across our border, and I'm sure some of them are good people, most positive, most of them aren't. Excellent, Homestead Aquarius. I just saw a picture of a private school in London. Not one, all of them were born in England. Not one of them was English heritage, which changes the whole culture of England, because their upper class is no longer the people that have generationally been English. They have just brought in a lot of rich people from foreign countries who have taken over all their private schools, who will be the next leaders of that country. Invasion. Another way to look at it. What's up, Wealth of Nations? Sorry about that. Didn't mean not to let you talk. Are you? Can you talk? I don't see that you're muted. No, I can hear you a little bit low. I turned my volume up. I don't know if that helps everybody.
Yeah, Homestead Aquarius. I think we're already at vulcanization.
You know, I always think of Spock when you say vulcanization. I don't know why.
Well, one starts with B, the other starts with B.
Oh, vulcanization. I thought you meant vulcanization. See, I'm thinking.
Nah, not rubber.
My head's back up to space mining again. Okay, I'm thinking of space mining. Okay, you can't hold it against me. You know my head's up in the sky.
What I'm hearing you say, Neil, is you're in space today.
I'm refueling right now.
I was going to say, it must be some good stuff.
There we go. Got to get that rocket fuel in. I don't know. It could be good stuff. Let's see. This year's stuff's
Aquarius. I think they're starting a new feudal system.
Buy copper rounds, man. Feudal system. That's how you're going to be paying people. Copper rounds. I got little bulkies. So obviously, there's a whole bunch of little bulkies in there. But this year, I prepped the ground differently. And this year, I'm going to have buds about that big. Because I prepped the holes for a year. And outdoor shit always gets bigger. Ambassador Spock would make a terrible president because he would be logical and fuck up all of our cheating, lying, and stealing. Sorry, I'm a smart ass. I'm sorry. Hey, Jake, I'm going to give that guy your number on Monday. He'll probably call you sometime this week. Trey Bow is his name.
Homestead, I've got a different name for conspiracy theorists. It's pattern recognition.
Mathematician and pattern recognition. Roaming Prepper, good to see you. Hold on a second, Roaming Prepper.
Hey, Roaming Prepper.
How do I get a concealed carry for this, bro?
It's called a trench coat, Neil.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm actually in California. I like doing that because out here in California, a lot of people aren't allowed to have weapons, but like, I know so many people that have weapons. There's actually out here. They made it on YouTube. Guys doing shorts in the Bay Area, all going up to each other's houses, driving around, pulling out their pieces, making sure all their friends had their pieces on them. Not one of them was legal. Yeah, yeah. One reason why I watch your show, Roaming Prepper, keep up on the different things that are going on that I need. I actually have been considering for the first time in my life purchasing my own handgun. Now I'm 50. I'm fixing to turn 56, and I've never, shotgun at the house. Good enough, but nowadays, it's just not good enough.
Well, as a lot of the prepping channels say, stay strapped.
Pretty much, it seems like I'm getting that feeling where, if I didn't have such control over my neighborhood, because I've been in this 2-block area for 20 years fighting crime and sticking my neck out there and doing all kinds of stupid shit that most people shouldn't do, even the cops think I'm a nut. I feel a lot safer than most people, but you still have that random mother that drives up with his car from a different area that you got to worry about. And that's the one that you just can't plan for. And it seems like there's going to be more of that going on.
Yeah, and there's a lot of mental illness too. That's where a lot of this comes from.
Boy, howdy. If you look into it, and I'm sure we'll find out in a couple of years, all of the mental institutions and jails in South and Central America have been emptied and are part of that caravan of people coming up through the border. Along with whatever else, I can guarantee you there's insane people and murderers, rapists, and all kinds of criminals that have been released from their jails because it frees up that country's GDP. They no longer have to spend money on their insane people and their criminals because they released them out to America.
Yeah, I know that's what Cuba did in 1980 during the Mariel boat lift. They just emptied their prisons and sent them our way.
Yeah, I was in Florida. Trust me, I know all about that. Yeah, no, it's a repeat again. And that's why I'm a big advocate for taking over these Central American countries and making them part of America, where they have a system where that the thought of doing that is not a thought. Hey, yeah, let's dump all our trash on some other country. The fuck is that about? Yeah, if shit hits the fan, I'm going to Jake's house because I've talked him into having this whole homemade pizza thing going on, to where any apocalypse, like zombie apocalypse, he'll still be able to make pizzas. And he's like got his shit set up, so I'll have to go there with all my cats, help keep the rat population down. Do my part. Bring, add to his mom's cats. We'll have like 80 cats once I get there. No one will sneak up on us. Tom, what's up, Tom? Sorry about that. I didn't see you there.
Hey, Tom. So, Neil, what do you think of the current silver price?
I don't even know what the current silver price is, or platinum, or gold, because I just look at things differently. Until silver gets up to $50, it's a buy.
Yeah,
that's all there is to it.
Agree.
Until it starts getting close to its last all-time high, it's a buy, no matter the price, because it's only going to go up. Now, if you're looking at short-term shit, what the fuck are you doing in precious metals? Go to crypto, man. Go to the stock market. That's penny stocks. That's your short-term bounce up and down stuff. If you want a stable, long-term growth asset well, silver should grow, and it hasn't, but it's going to. It's 1970s all over again. And there's another thing. The potential back in the 70s hit 30x from $1 to $30. And then it fell back down like 3 or 4 or 5, something like that. But it's still 30x. So with everyone saying inflation, all this other crap, well, if you look at the 70s now, it could 30x now. It's just that number that you come up with when you 30x silver at $20 an ounce freaks people out. And they don't want to believe it's possible. But not only is it possible, it's highly likely that it'll 25, 30x. So I go back to the last all-time high. If it's lower than its last all-time high, it's a buy. That's why I don't say don't buy gold, because it's past its all-time high. You know?
Yeah, it's interesting how gold is holding close to its all-time high. It's the bid right now is 2023, but silver is languishing at 2263.
Less than half, just like platinum. Less than half its all-time high.
I have the same mindset as you, Neil. I think it's a buy, especially at this level.
Well,
anything below 30, I think, or definitely 25 is a buy.
Fuck. Anything under 50, again, I say. But now, if you add into that the price it costs to mine and mint it, add that into your calculations of what to and not to buy, and you look at platinum, and you should add some special bounty points on that one to buy more of it, just because of the value of that aspect of it, on top of it being undervalued. Yeah, it's about 500 JM.
Yeah, that's the number I've heard, JM, 500.
Yeah, it's around. I heard around. You know, it could be like 482, you know, around 500.
Yeah, I wouldn't, Homestead, I would love if silver went to 15. I'd back up the truck.
Oh, easily, yeah. But then again, they're still making money at 15, because it only costs $13, $14 to get it out to the public. So at 15, it's still be making $1 or $2 profit. And then the premium added to that would be the profit of the coin shop people and the businesses after the minting, which is what I'm talking about when it comes to cost of minting. That's not including the cost of getting it to the consumer. That's just the cost of making it to that round or that royal mint shape and design. For silver is between $13 and $14. So even at $15, they're still making money. Not shitloads. I mean, they can't pay all their office workers and shit like that, but they're still not losing money. Right now, platinum is actually losing money. So, you know, a better case scenario for buying platinum over silver. Because silver, they won't. A good analogy is for silver to be in the same place as platinum right now, it would have to go for $11 a coin. Then they'd be losing, you know, 15%, 20%, like the miners of selling platinum are right now. So looking at it that way, platinum's a guaranteed winner.
JM, to your point, yeah, silver, if silver went back down to 15, the thing is the premiums go through the roof, so you can't buy it.
That gives the real value of it.
Yep, that's correct.
That gives the real value of it. Everything else is just a paper game. Why are people complaining? You're looking at the game in action. You're paying the price of the game in action. Oh, well, why is it so high? Because people are making you see this little number on a screen, and you're complaining. That's why. The actual value. What is the actual value? The true value. We all complain. What's the true value? We don't know what the true value is. We all know it's bigger than 23, 25, 40, 30, whatever you want to say. So, I mean, what's the problem with paying that premium? Because other people apparently think the same thing. And something other than us and the system is restraining that price. So therefore, having said that last part, no matter the price, if something outside the system's restraining the price, whatever that thing is, you should buy. Because that's a buy signal. What? The price is being pushed down? Well, fuck, yeah. Buy that son of a bitch. That could be Cracker Jacks, you know? Business sense says if it's being, you know, if they're artificially holding down the prices of a product that's used, that has a utilitarian use to it, and they're artificially holding it down, buy the crap out of it, because that artificial is going to go away. You know, it might take a year, might take 10 years, might take 20 years, but it'll go away. And you'll be a wealthy son of a bitch when it does. And, you know, again, it could be Doritos. You know, it doesn't matter if it's an undervalued asset that you can tell is being price suppressed. Is that not a buy indicator? Logically? Homestead, I'm glad I'm the ripple in the water that brings a little bit of chunky cheese to the breakfast table as you're eating it on the boat. Yeah, a lot of people are unaware of platinum. That's why I've been sounding the alarm on it for the past almost 2 years, because it is an outstanding investment opportunity, in my personal opinion. And there is a company out there that is going to be, it's an American company. They found platinum in Ontario, hot damn Ontario, and along with palladium and other things. And they've got the mining rights, and they're getting ready to drill, and there's enough platinum there. They've already stated, this company's already stated that they are going to be taking over as the primary platinum production mine of the world. That's how big that PGM mine will be from all their drilling that they've done in that area. So South Africa and BRICS is not going to have much of a hold on platinum here in 5 years. It'll all be based in America. Team America, go BRICS. Let's snatch that one out from underneath them. I did a report on it. I can get you the names. I think it's Clean Air Incorporated is the company's name. Their stock's going to jump, skyrocket once they start drilling, once they start the actual physical mining. Yeah, that one there. Thank you, JM. Yeah, then their drilling results have shown that the start of the vein is at 500 meters. So it's not going to take that long to get down there, but it will take a little bit. But if you look at South Africa, they're getting their shit at 2,000 meters. So expense-wise, they're going to be a lot cheaper in the mining aspect of it for a good decade before they get down to 2,000 meters. And the vein's supposed to be a bigger vein than the one in South Africa. And I believe they're still going to discover one in Colombia here shortly as well, but we'll see. And I got my sniffers out there trying to find all the platinum in the world. And they're hopping on rockets because they say that platinum's in outer space too. What do you think technology that will allow silver to be used more than platinum in catalytic and hydrogen? I think that's a bunch of crap. Chemistry will not allow it. I mean, it will, but you'd have to. The only reason they would replace silver for platinum is to stimulate the economy and make you go in for maintenance a lot more often than you would have to, and you'll have to pay out of pocket for that. That's the only reason I could see them using it, because it's an inferior metal and it does inferior work, and it would have to be recharged and replaced, and that'll be a little bit of expense on the owner, whoever buys that car. I could see them doing that intentionally, but the best case scenario for the use of the technology is not silver, it's platinum. Unless they come up with this, they've got this. Oh man, I haven't done much research on it because it seems like it's far out, but it could be closer than I think. It's like some sort of a aquatic plant or something that has similar properties or some crap like that. It seems kind of sci-fi. I haven't read much about it, but I'll have to dive into the deep end and check that out. But one day there will be a replacement for platinum, but it won't be another heavy metal. It won't be a metal that's softer than it or has less. As shit passes through it, it's a catalyst for chemical change. I think it like separates the positive neutrons or some shit like that, or negative neutrons as certain things pass through it, and silver can't do as good a job, and silver tarnishes and deteriorates over time where platinum doesn't. So yeah, they probably could use silver, but if you get anything that has silver in it that's supposed to have platinum, set money aside every paycheck, because you're gonna have to pay maintenance bills more than you should have to if they use the right product.
So Neil, I should know this, but you're saying platinum doesn't tarnish?
Well, yeah, I mean, shit can get on it, but it's not going to on its own. It won't.
The surface doesn't oxidize.
Yeah, no, it's too hard of a. It doesn't. You can't even hardly scratch it. It's like the cells are so tight together it's so dense. It's one of the densest precious metals out there. I doubt mold and mildew would grow on it. I doubt it would tarnish. I mean, maybe if you leave it outside for like a couple decades in the weather, yeah, it might, maybe. But on your finger, no, no. Any chemical process like with copper or something like that, turning green and shit, it won't do that. Not to my knowledge. Yeah, no, it's called what is it, the purest of metals, or was it the it's white gold. It's damn, wow, shit about platinum I can't recall right now. There's a word that's used for platinum. It's like the most royal of metals, because it just little can happen. So little can happen to it.
I went out to AppMex, and it does confirm what you reported, that platinum does not tarnish, or is highly resistant to tarnishing. It says,
Pretty
unlike
much, guys, if I say something about platinum, whoever's out there you're getting your information from probably got it from me. I'm kidding. I'm very seldom wrong about platinum. Now, the new shit that'll come out in like 20 years, that's going to be a plant-based thing that'll take its place. That's totally chemistry shit that I'm not too much hip on. I think it's a Platinum Group's metals, and I kind of like Ian from Ark Investment. He's a cool dude. I've met him, talked with him several times, and I like what he's pushing. What do I think about it? I don't know too much of its use case, so I can't say it's got use case to it. But is it a beautiful thing to have as jewelry, or something like that? It's god awful gorgeous, and it is very rare. What I knew of it before this new shit came about was it was kind of toxic, and that's why I didn't do any research on it, because I was like, oh fuck me, no one's gonna fuck with that, unless it's like chemically altered. And they apparently came up with some sort of a laser type process that like makes the dangerous part inert. And so I'm gonna have to totally do another deep dive into osmium to find out more about it, because I never paid too much attention to it, because it's even more rare than fucking platinum. Platinum's quite rare. So any use case that could come of it is going to be negligible, because there ain't that much of it to use for that use case, whatever that use case could be. Although I'm sure there is a use case, it's there, so there's going to be a use case for it somewhere. But it's a beautiful, very reflective, harder. It's harder than platinum, I believe, actually, as far as for scratching and shit. But as far as use case and like drugs, or in engines, or in cars, or in airplanes, or spaceships, or anything like that, I don't know enough about it to say. I know there are use cases for it other than what they're selling it for, because they did have something going on with it. Again, my research is bad on osmium, but that was all before like Ian came along and found out that those guys had done that laser technology. Of course, I'm not too hip on. I can get long-lived coins up here. He's done several interviews with Ian, and is much more adversed on the subject of the osmium and how they took it from being toxic in the ground to where you can have it as jewelry. And it's very cool shit. It's very strong, won't break. It's very reflective. It's got more points on it than your fingerprint does. So they take pictures of it, and it's like Star Trek shit, man. It's cool shit. It's cool shit. Yeah, no, I like osmium. I like it more now that I know it won't kill me if I touch it. But like I said, when I first got into platinum and researching the platinum group metals, osmium was kind of like a vampire. If it came too close to you, stood a chance of having bad shit. Noble, that's it. Noble metals. Thank you, JM. Noble metal. Platinum is the most noble metal. Wow. Hold on, I need to take a hit. I couldn't remember noble, man. Alex, give me 5-letter words starting with N with 2 syllables. Yes, platinum is the most noble of the noble dudes. Not dying is definitely a bonus, especially with precious shit. Yeah, there's 6 platinum group metals. Hold on, is it noble? Okay, those are noble metals. Rhodium, palladium, silver, osmium, iridium, platinum, and gold. Yeah, those are the rich people metals. Yeah, platinum. Now I have heard that, and this is I think we spoke of this in the last live stream, why America and Russia intentionally got us into a Cold War where we kept building these missiles where we needed this supposed fuel source for this supposed bomb thing. It's not supposed, it's nukes, yeah, whatever. But now it's all like old stuff and they have to store it. But now there's a new technology here that's going to come out that uses spent nuclear fuel cell as its power source. And Russia and America have the most of that. So if that's true, America and Russia have no problem staying solvent for the next 200 to 300 years. And I've been wondering why we store it instead of ship it off out in space. I mean, shooting it to the sun's a hell of a lot better idea than storing it, unless there's going to be a use case for it later on. And what I think what happened was we came up with a nuclear bomb for the base of coming up with a power source that can last for 1,000 years, but we didn't have the technology to make it happen without the exploding of the bomb, and we couldn't do the science research as quickly as we could have a war to get the research done by the nuclear bomb thing. And the subsequent like 75 nuclear explosions we've done since then on American soil to, about 75. Russia's done more. What's up, Zardo? And here's another freaky thing, too. Russia has already blown up 4 nuclear rocket engines in the production and testing of a new nuclear rocket engine. Not a nuclear rocket with a nuclear warhead, but the engine is a nuclear engine for a space rocket, for a rocket. Talk about you want to go to Mars real fast? Yeah. Dude, they get nuclear into a rocket and you don't have to worry about refueling. You just knocked out another 90% of the cost of freaking space travel and time it takes to get to wherever. What's up, John Beffy? So, but see, the funny thing is they've blown up, they've tested 4 of their nuclear rocket engines. 3 of them have blown up in Russia. 2 years, within the past 2 years, they've had 3 nuclear explosions in Russia that we didn't know about until after they blew up. Just to let y'all know, global warming is not your car or cow fart. And that doesn't even talk about, I think it's 27 volcanoes that are actively spewing out more carbon in one day than the whole world produces in a year. And so that's like 27 years worth of carbon production every day that these 27 volcanoes spew out their shit throughout the world. Most of them are underwater, but they're still putting out carbons. Just to add some fact to the science fiction that they're feeding everybody about global warming and cow farts and stupid shit. Anyone else want to come up on the panel? I got it pinned. Sorry for not letting you talk, or well, you're more than.
No worries. No worries. I'll get in when it's appropriate.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I just was running my mouth, man. I wanted to talk about those. Well, platinum. Obviously, I always talk about platinum.
Yeah, rumor has it you may like platinum.
I
don't know where I heard that from, but there is that rumor.
I had a lot of people pissed at me when I first started on the YouTube scene. I'd always say buy silver and platinum, and that's all I'd say. I've been saying it for 2 years now, and you will not know how many people have been convinced to look at platinum, not buy it, but just at least to look at it in those past 2 years that never thought of looking at it. And that is the whole psychological point that I started with when I used those 3 words: buy silver, and 4 words, and platinum. the psychological meaning of hearing that over and over again. People start researching, start thinking about it, and it wakens them up. It's the same psychological ploy they're using against us in the media. It's funny.
I bought platinum before I even knew you. I am slightly down on my investment, but
Yeah, but you didn't
um,
know as much about it before you knew me as you know now.
I own about 10 ounces.
That's sweet, man. I know I got Travis to buy 20 ounces. Once I started talking about it, he was like, "What? Let me look." Because see, no one looked at platinum. You're very few. You're one of the very few. One in 100,000 investors even thinks of platinum.
Now I
But
can't remember who put me on to it. It was somebody in the PM community, like I said before I knew you. I don't know if it was somebody like Tavi Costa or somebody along those lines.
yeah, well, I'm glad someone was talking about it before me because when I got into actually, I got into precious markets from crypto. I used to be a moderator on one of the big crypto shows 4 years ago, 5 years ago, somewhere like that, maybe 6 years ago. I don't know. It's been a while. And all my research, because research, right? All my research led me to silver. I was like, what the fuck? All these people talking shit, and it's all going. All my research leads. So I ended up getting kicked out of all those communities because I wouldn't talk about crypto. I started talking about silver, and then I hopped over the, the Korean market, and I saw everyone talking about silver. And I was like, well, fuck, what else is out there? And I started looking at platinum. I was like, holy fuck, talk about a canary in the coal mine. No one's talking about platinum. And
The
that's
guy
what's
who put me on to silver is Jim Rogers, who used to be George Soros's partner in the Quantum Fund. Now, I find him to be Rogers to be rather a broken record these days, but he did put me on to silver, so I'm thankful for that.
yeah. I don't know who got me on the silver. I don't think anyone actually got me on the silver. Like I said, I came across silver in my research and want to be more well versed in crypto. In my research, that led me to silver. So it was my own curiosity, wanting to learn more about crypto and find out if it's a real thing, and all this other crap that led me to it. Which is kind
Gregory Manarino is a huge silver bull as well, so he didn't put me onto it, but he did reinforce my belief in the value of it.
of Homestead Aquarius. What you need to know about platinum is this right here. Where's it at? Neil's notes. It cost approximately $14 to mine and mint 1 ounce of silver. It cost around $800 to mine and mint 1 ounce of gold. It cost $1,200 to mine and mint 1 ounce of platinum. Of those three metals, platinum is the only one you can buy cheaper than it costs to mine
We had Dr. Doolittle on the stream,
it. So,
or should I say Dr. Dog Little?
Uh-huh. Hey guys, good to see
Hey,
you.
JM, good to have you on here.
uh-oh, I got to watch out for cats now. I'm talking to you and dog.
Meow.
They'll think I'm one of the agents. What's that cartoon movie of dogs and cats at war or something? Where the dogs and cats actually have like radios and they talk to each other.
Hmm.
I haven't found any radios in the house, so I think I'm safe.
I haven't seen that one.
It's a Pixar. So it's it's an older one.
Okay.
I think it might be one of their like short movies. So what you up to, JM? You buy any platinum recently? You come up here on the panel to tell everyone about a great platinum deal you got somewhere that I don't know about that you're gonna turn this all onto?
Yeah, you should almost scroll that ticker again. No, I have not bought any metals at all in a little while because I know I've got a couple big expenses coming up, so I'm trying to save up as much cash as possible,
You know,
and actually I'm doing my best to not have to sell anything.
boy howdy. Yeah, I went through 6 months where I didn't qualify for unemployment because I ran it out last year. And I only worked like 6 weeks in those 6 months. So I got a lot of side gigs going to help my ass out because I did not want to sell any of my silver. I did sell some, but I didn't. Not as much as I thought I was going to have to.
Well, I'm actually even um, probably going to start taking on a second, another side gig too.
Side gigs are depending on what they are,
Yeah.
can be easy,
Yeah.
can be fun, and can be enjoyable.
This one will be painting.
If you enjoy it, it can be fun and entertaining and profitable.
Oh yeah, painting and like wall repair. I got a good buddy that's been in construction and renovation his whole life,
Mm-hmm.
and I've given him some good referrals for business over the last year.
Right on.
So he wants to ramp that up, and then I'll just kind of be his helper, like cutting in and
Right on.
yeah. But that means I won't be on YouTube as much, right? Because I'm like, well, how can I make more?
No.
Got to commit some more time somewhere.
Well, you just come on YouTube at different times than you normally do around your work time.
That's
When I go back to work, I'm not going to be on except for probably Sunday. I won't be doing mini cat video. I won't be doing a lot of them. My turnout's going to be lower when I'm working.
JM, I just have to say that's the wrong attitude. We need you here.
Yeah. I hear you. Well, I won't just disappear. But yeah, I've looked. I spend a lot of time in front of this computer, a lot of time. But I think it'll probably work out to a couple hours a day, on average, help him out. In fact, over the weekend here, I put some flyers together for him, and he's just targeting one neighborhood, wealthy neighborhood. So it's the same neighborhood where I walk many of my dogs.
Networking. That's the way to do it because you get to know the people. They get to know you. They trust you. That you know what needs to happen in those areas because you're in them. You refer. They trust you. That's how it works, brother.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Take one thing, combine it with something else that no one else would think about. You can also scam people like that. My mom, God rest her soul, when she was alive, her sister, my aunt, had this guy come in. There's over in Scotland. They got these fucking cheesy fuckers. He came in and do some maintenance on her house, internal work, whatever. And what he actually did was found out like squeaky spots and stuff like this. And he had a friend who was a medium, I guess they're called, like psychic dude.
Or medium.
Okay. And this carpenter dude who was inside my aunt's house told her about certain things because my aunt had like gone to him like once or twice, and he found out this dude did some work on her house or whatnot, and this dude who did work on the house told him some shit, and he acted like he knew it when he was talking to my aunt to get more money out of her ass. I ended up having to call. What, do I have a phone call, Jake? I ended up having to call my aunt, put that dude on the phone, and tell him to get the fuck out of her house. I made her fire him because there's scammers out there. Because my aunt's rich, she got all the money on the Sutherlands. My mom didn't get it, my aunt did. So a lot of people target her, and she's naive as fuck.
Yep.
And into that psychic crap.
Up there.
Yeah, if you're old and into that psychic crap, you get a lot of scammers.
Yeah, keep an eye out, for your loved ones, for that, especially if they're elderly. Or
oh yeah, like I said, I hopped on the phone, called Scotland, and said, "Give me your boy's number. I'm gonna call him direct." And I called him from America. I said, "Check this out. It's gonna cost me $1,000. Come over there, and kick your ass, and then you won't go back, or just save me $1,000 and you're an ass whooping, and don't go back and fuck with her." And he never went back. He got the picture. I'm surprised some of my cousins didn't step up because I'm the little one. My Scottish cousins, they go to those games where they flip those fucking telephone poles and shit. They're some big ass fucking boys. And I'm surprised they didn't step up. But socialism over there's got the boys wearing dresses. No offense to everyone who wears kilts, such as myself. But they're kind of womanized men over there. Yeah, it got too cold and their balls ran off.
Well, it's kind of funny how places that used to be known as really, really masculine have
manly man.
The Vikings and the Scottish.
So you just mentioned my family because the Sutherlands came into the Sinclairs area, which is northern Scotland, and they also had the northern Scottish Isles. And the Sutherlands took the Northern Isles because they came from Norway. And the reason why they're called Sutherlands and they're the most northern clan is because they came from Norway, and that's south, or the Sutherlands of Norway. So they were Sutherlanders. And then we took the name and took over the Isles. That's where most of my family's at. And you got to be a man out there.
Yeah, I think the more rural an area you're in, the more likely you're going to find the
A
traditional.
manly man.
Yeah, the more you go into the city, I don't know what it is, but
It pussifies you because it makes everything convenient and easy. You don't have to do it.
and you've got to submit. Every moment you're walking around, you're submitting to signs and rules and what they call it, social contracts. And
You know the definition of Islam? Submission.
I did not know that.
Yeah. We're submissive. I like submission. Yeah, I'm most proud of myself. My most proud ironwork achievement is when COVID started and we had to go up this freight elevator of this big old building we were retrofitting in San Francisco. And the contractor put up these signs of guys with their heads down and masks on, pointing to the corner saying that everyone had to stand in a corner with a mask on and their head down. And I pulled my knife out and cut that fucker up and looked at the elevator operator and said, "You can tell that motherfucker I did it because I ain't doing this shit." The fuck, I put my foot down fucking 2020. And they didn't fire me, so that's a good thing. But they took all their signs down too. I guess they were testing to see how submissive people were, and they found out that the ironworkers, well, this ironworker wasn't submissive.
Oh, if they don't push the boundary, they don't know where it is, right?
Yeah. And if you don't have a squeaky wheel, you never get the grease, and I squeak all the time. Yeah, you just got to know when and where to push.
I pulled
Yeah,
up
like-
a chart of silver and platinum there if you want to.
Hell no. Why would I want to do that? This ain't no silver and platinum show. Buy silver and platinum.
The blue there is silver, and the orangish gold color is platinum.
What
Sure.
year did platinum took that jump? 2011?
2008.
8? Okay.
11 is around here. So it did have a jump there, but it had a really nice run. And I'm just cherry picking that because that's where you can see there the orange begins.
Yeah.
So
No, it
this
looks
chart
very
doesn't
much
go
similar.
before that.
It actually looks very much
But-
similar.
Yeah, it looks like it really outperformed silver up to April of 2008, but then it got hit harder. And it did not participate in this run that silver had.
That's
in
price
2011.
suppression. That's when South
And it-
Africa joined BRICS.
Yeah.
And ever
So
since
right now,
then,
going back,
yep. See that first
back-
spike there? Right after that, that's when fucking China started courting fucking South Africa into BRICS. And right there at the second high after that low valley, then they joined BRICS, and it's gone down ever since. Economic war.
I
Add the
think we can
dates.
add gold in there too.
Yeah, do gold and platinum. You'll see the same thing.
So gold is the turquoise color now.
Yeah, same thing. Around what's that year when platinum dips down to the price of gold right after that first high?
Right here?
Yeah, right around there.
That's October 2008.
Right
They all three met in 2008.
Yeah.
And then they all met again in 2014. And since then, platinum has suffered. And silver and gold have actually gone up, you know.
Yeah, and now everyone says, and I'm gonna have this guy on my show. He's on Spotify. He's another platform. He's a big deal on another platform. Apparently, I don't know, but he's a platinum guy as well. And he's gonna come and say that catalytic converters are the reason. But if you look at that chart, catalytic converters have been around since before that chart starts there. What's the last date on that chart to the far left? 2000 or what?
1997 is where it started. 1990, the end of 96.
Okay. Platinum was using catalytic converters back then too. So if you look from there to now, at that jump up, it had nothing to do with cars. Because if it did, the chart would have been higher all the time. There's nothing in there that has anything to do with catalytic converter use.
And you can kick that chart off the screen anytime you want.
So can you?
Yep.
Okay.
It's your
chart. It's your chart. If you want it down, I'll let you take it down. I'm a free loving kind of guy. Unless it's offensive, it can stay. I don't care.
I think it's good to have it there a little bit.
Man, we just gave away an ounce of fucking platinum, dude. Sorry you missed it, bro.
Hey Finn, Homestead got your platinum. Doggone
Dude,
it.
man.
You just missed it.
It was like 2 minutes ago, bro. Sorry about that.
Good to see you, Finn.
Finn's like, these guys are jerks.
So, why do I come?
For Finn and anyone else just showing up, we're charting here the price performance on the markets of gold, which is the turquoise, versus silver, which is the blue, and versus gold, which is the gold color. Oh, I'm sorry, that's wrong. Platinum is the gold color.
I was going to correct you, JM.
Thanks, buddy.
Homestead made an interesting comment that platinum doesn't stay on its highs for very long. You know, you could make the same comment about silver as well, and gold.
Yep.
Just silver lags gold.
Well, from what David Morgan said, gold's going to make its run first, and then silver's going to make a faster run. And he even mentioned platinum, which I've never heard him mention before. So a lot more of these big, respectable guys that are in the PM market that have YouTube shows are starting to talk about platinum and see what's going on. And that was just, I think, yesterday or today's show for David Morgan.
Platinum's still sitting around the same price that it was back in 2005.
Yeah, baby. Tell me that's not a good price. What else is the same price as 2005?
Not even silver. Really, even
so
silver.
Again, a better case for buying platinum over silver and gold.
That's a good point to cherry pick.
I'm just there's so many of them.
That's going back to 2005.
What is the upside on that chart? Which one of those lines has the most upside potential? What color?
Well,
blue,
if you're looking,
yellow.
Well, which is has the most opportunity is most likely to be undervalued or underpriced.
That would be the gold one, right? The gold line. That's what I see.
It would appear that way.
Yeah. So there you go. Buy platinum.
I cherry picked that time. Here's much shorter term.
Yeah. Shorter term is worse. Bro.
This is much shorter term.
Go from 2010, 2011. Take that chart and see how bad platinum performs. Yeah, you gotta expand it down, huh?
2011.
Yeah, 8, 11, somewhere around there. That's when it all started for platinum.
Right. Oh yeah. Okay. So we cherry picked the trough. Let's cherry pick the peak. There we go.
Yeah.
There's the peak there.
Now, what's the blue and the gold? Silver and platinum, right?
Platinum and silver, they're pretty much right. You know, they're meeting each other right there within 1%.
Buy silver and platinum.
And you know what's blows me away is that gold's actually only up about 30% from them, but that was the peak. So
yeah, but right now the best buys out there are silver and platinum. They are separating from gold. What's happening is around there, you can see gold's going to be a tier one asset, and they're separating. They're breaking away from the gold, and is breaking away from silver and platinum as a asset class. That's what I think is happening. And you would need price suppression for that to happen. Yeah, palladium's going to go down more, Jake. Especially when clean air industries, or once they start mining, because they're going to have a lot of palladium to add to. Although I tell you what, it would be a good deal to buy the palladium, have a one or two of the palladium fucking American Eagles. That would not be a bad deal at all. I would suggest that anytime they do a first minting of any metal, the first year minting is always a good one to have. And I think this is the first year, or last year was the first year they minted the palladium coin, which also legally makes it money too. People have problems with that, but legally, if it's minted as a royal mint coin, that metal is legal tender. So all the laws that get passed in all these separate states about gold and silver, they have to include platinum and palladium as well.
It's a really good point, though, about how fast it snaps back. Or
they say what?
Right?
It's a. They say it's the most volatile of all the precious metals. I haven't seen it since I've been keeping track of the price, but they say it is. Gold's been more volatile past 2 years.
Yeah, there's different ways of measuring volatility.
I look at the.
Yep, that's what most people do, and that I think is sort of the default.
It's the visual. Look at the chart. Holy shit! Look at all those ups and downs.
Yep. Standard deviation.
Yeah, Jake says, buy it when you can find it. That's the thing everyone says about silver. First, it'll be unaffordium, then unobtainium. Well, you're missing the train. Unaffordium's fixing to come up because unobtainium is already here for platinum. It's real hard to get what you can get platinum, but you ain't gonna get what you want and as much as you want of what you want. You'll have to get what they have. And when you have to settle to buy them for what they have, that means there's a shortage. Just a heads up if anyone didn't put that together. In other words, there's a platinum shortage going on right now. It's platinum squeeze, no one's talking about. Because the price is being suppressed, but it doesn't mean the metal's not disappearing or being purchased. So it's a fake out. Because right now the price should be going through the fucking roof. And it's not.
So if you won $100,000 tomorrow.
Of platinum?
If you want to stay on a lottery, you won $100,000. How would you allocate it through the metals?
If I was only going to put it in metals?
Yeah.
Me? I would probably do 60,000 platinum, 30,000 silver, and 10,000 gold.
Sounds about right. I'm actually glad and a little surprised to hear the gold in there at all.
Just because everyone else values it, and because I can walk outside and everyone will fucking understand what it is, kind of thing.
It's the most liquid.
Yeah, and that's the only reason.
Transactions.
That's the only reason, because my thoughts aren't the only thoughts in the world, and a lot more people think of gold and silver than gold and platinum. So yeah, I'd have about 10%, 10,000 in gold just for the liquidation.
It wasn't that long ago, maybe a month or so, that I saw comments from a few different people in the chats saying that they had tried to sell some silver at their LCS and the LCS was not buying.
Interesting.
Not
So
interested.
my LCS, he buys everything. He'll tell you he doesn't like platinum, but he still buys it. And then he gets rid of it somehow. Because every time I go there and say, "Hey, you have any platinum to buy?" He's like, "Nope, don't have any." I was like, "I thought someone just sold you some." He goes, "Yep, got rid of it." What the fuck? Who'd you get rid of it to? I've never asked him that because it's not my business, but it makes me wonder.
Hey, John.
Thank you, Long Live Coins.
Regarding the big dog needing food. But that's one of the things. Like, I'm a professional dog walker. I do dog walking and dog sitting for a living. So I run kibbles. I carry kibbles in my pocket as a treat. But I'm not actually paying for their meals.
I actually had what I call human treats. I cut up bacon. Actually, when I cut it up, it's about like that. But after I fried it, it gets in half, little bites. I used to, when I was walking my dogs, I used to fry those up and carry those around. So that way, every time I'd give them one and I'd eat one because it's bacon. No, it was real bacon. I made it. They loved the fuck out of it, and so did I. What's up, Chad?
Frequently, with the two little dogs here, after done eating, depending on what it is, there's kind of some leftovers on the plate, and I usually I'll give them the plate and let them lick it clean before I rinse it and wash them.
Oh, man.
But never, ever while I'm eating or before I'm eating do they get human food. It's only after. Otherwise, they'll start begging.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's 6 pounds of beef a week. Typically, I'll feed my dogs. I've got 2 right now, so they get about 3 pounds of beef, good beef, human eating beef.
I don't see too many videos from you on the dogs.
That's because they're old.
Yeah,
Pitbull's 13. My Ridgeback is 11 to 12. They're having problems getting around because of age, and I don't want to show that.
I hear you. Hey, Chad, good to see you. Sorry I missed you earlier
there. They're all babies. And also, this cooked up piece of bacon, I'll cook them up till they're crispy, and I'll like break them up like actual bacon bits, and put it on top of their food as well. For that, actually, this whole year I've been cooking real good for them because they are old.
If I could pick any of those 3 dogs as a pet, I would actually take that to Jack Russell.
I'd take the big one.
The reason I'd pick that Jack Russell is because she's actually the best behaved of the 3. But the big guy, he's much younger. He's learned a lot from her, and that little Jack Russell's taught him. Helped me teach him the drill. That big dog, I would not advise anybody get a dog like that. He's a Newfoundland. If you're in a warm climate, like
most definitely. Even chows down south is a bad idea. The chow because they have too much hair. Or the Malamute in Florida, the Shepherd in Florida. It's like, really, people.
Yeah.
I hear you on that one, Jan.
That big guy, he does. I'll do this in Fahrenheit for you, but he does well as long as the temperature's under 60.
Yeah.
Once it's even 70, you take him for a walk, and like the slobber and saliva and like.
Yeah, too much for him.
Yeah.
No, he's a winter mountain dog. Snow.
He's a good boy. And he's intact male too. They did not get him neutered. But
you always shave him like sheep in the summertime, though.
Well, that's what they did with this Wheaton Terrier at the front. Like most Wheaten Terriers have much longer hair than that.
I actually like what are those little fuckers? Weasels. I guess
Oh,
I wouldn't mind
Schnauzer.
having some weasels on the land.
Okay, I guess that's enough show and tell on my end. There you go.
You can do more show and tell. We're talking animals right now.
Okay.
We already did the whatever the hell I wanted to talk about, which was the breakdown of another way to look at precious metals. So, although we didn't discuss too much about the UN funding invasion, but I like dogs better.
I'll tell you these.
There's like two sisters in the back.
The two smaller dogs, sort of in the foreground, were my brother's dogs, and the two sheepdogs in the back were his tenant. He had a tenant in that place there. They were her dogs.
What's up, Indy?
Hey, Andy, good to see you.
What type of dogs are those? Sheepdogs?
The two in the back are sheepdogs, yeah.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is he rescued the two smaller dogs. Got them from the Humane Society. Their intention was just to get one as a family dog because family.
Yeah, with good people, it always turns out to be more than one.
The Humane Society said the lab up front would make the perfect family dog, and they nailed it. She was awesome. And they did not recommend that they get the other one, but you could tell the two had bonded. So I don't know if they had come from the same place or what, but they did. And the other guy, the one that's not up front, turned out to have a personality like Scooby-Doo. He'd get into absolutely anything and everything, and he was a real kind of a troublemaker, but still a good dog.
Yeah, I have 7 different personalities with me, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's one thing I guess I'm blessed by God for 90+% of animals I come across. It's like there's an instant connection where they don't usually act like they would to most other people, kind of thing. The whole reason I became a tiger trainer is because the way that Misha acted around me, not the way I acted around her. She chose me, so I must put out some scent or something where animals just relate with me. And these cats, the reason why I got these cats, the fucking mama's cat was outside, gave birth to him at my front door. What are you supposed to do, right?
I think a lot of it is energy. They sense the energy, but yeah, you've also got a good track record there. So they know the cats live here and they're taken care of here.
Yeah, they seem to bring me ones that need help. And so like I said, there seems to be some sort of a frequency there that is between me and most animals. I've had an albino skunk, fucking reticulated pythons, all kinds of parrots. Because a friend of mine had an exotic pet store, and he got pets straight from the jungles in South America. Most of them were not humanized. He gave them all to me temporarily until they were humanized. And once I got them humanized, I gave them back to him. I had ringnets, goffins, fucking macaws, all kinds. I just had an affiliation to the animals, more so than people. I get along with most animals, people not so much.
I get along with quite a few people, but I find animals are easier. Their psychology is
they're more real.
Yeah.
No bullshit or drama with your animal, unless there's playing.
I think it's there's similarity too, because if a human is psychologically wrecked when they're young, very difficult to rehabilitate them. And I think the same thing with dogs.
That's where you kind of just gotta work with them. I had that one red nose. He was a bait dog, and he went through 7 rescuers, and they were all like, "Fuck, man, fuck." I was like, "Give him to me, man. I'll take him." And he stayed with me his whole life. I just let him be part of the pack. I didn't put any requirements on him. I let him find his space, made sure the other dogs didn't fuck with him, and still interacted with him, but not aggressively. And he had a great life. And he didn't listen or anything, but I didn't put any demands on him. Here it comes. Silver, you making your showing, brother? This goes Indy. Look at those dogs. Look at those dogs. You want to be up here with dogs up here?
I think Silver wants to play with them.
Silver's a lover. You a lover? He probably likes the white one.
Yeah, he's probably like, "Is that my mommy?"
Every time he shows up here, he starts purring.
Well, you're probably getting that sort of warm, fuzzy energy talking about pets and animals, like good mood, good feelings. And I think he probably picked up on that. He's like, "Yeah, that's cool. I'm going to go hang out with my dude."
Yeah, what's not cool is when Stryker gets up here and he gets up here and they decide to start fighting and using my shoulder as the platform to fight off of. And my hair and everything else. And my glasses will get knocked off. And like right now, like, what are you doing?
Would you say that they're claiming you when they climb up on you like that?
He's showing me he loves me. I have too many cats for any of them for me to allow anyone to claim me. Let me put it that way, because it'll cause problems with the other ones. Like I've noticed since I've had him doing this, Gandalf is right behind me. And Gandalf, when he was a baby, his age, he used to do the same things this one's doing. No, you can stay on the shoulders. You're not going to be on the shoulders. You're not going to be up here. But now Gandalf like sleeps or get right behind me and want to be close to me again because he's getting a little jealous because this one's doing what he used to do. But thankfully, Gandalf hasn't jumped on my shoulders.
Do you ever see a cat food called Tender Vittles?
Yeah, I don't use it.
Don't use it. Back when we had barn cats, that's what we would get them as treats. Had the regular cat food, but then
for just cats out and about. I've gone to the store and bought like canned cat food, and I'll see a cat on the railroad tracks or something.
Mm-hmm.
I told you, stay on the shoulders. You go home. I'm gonna lock you in prison. You're gonna go to prison. That's it.
And I keep forgetting, but you mentioned it about half an hour ago that you used to be a tiger trainer.
Yeah, and it wasn't my choice. I just started a Ren Fair, and I wanted to keep it close to my buddy's Ren Fair. He had a Ren Fair in Pensacola, Florida, and so I started one in Mobile, Alabama, which is 54 miles away. And I was able to get they call it Mobile Zoo, but it's not. Mobile doesn't fund it at all. It's a personally owned zoo. And got their land because they had enough land for it, and had to do some cleanup and some work and stuff. Was the deal I made with the guy to get the land for no cost, because he had fields that need to be mowed, and buddy Steve had a tractor with like 2 of those blades are coming back. So, I worked a deal with him, do some work so I could use his land. And then doing the work, his old lady came up who actually owned the tigers, Misha. And the Discovery Channel was there like 2 months before that, because Misha was the first Siberian to give birth to cubs in captivity here in America, I guess. And the Discovery Channel was there, and she gave birth to Nadia and Anna. They were like 3 months old when I got there. And Fran, the lady's name, after I finished mowing and shit, I asked her what else needed to be done. She said, "I'll take a break. Let me show you the cats area." And there was the double cage on the outside where the regular parishioners were, and then there was an inner walkway with just one cage between the cats and the trainer. She took me back there, and she had stopped to talk to someone on the outside of the cage, and it was right beside Misha's cage. And Misha came up and leaned up on. She was a 650-pound cat. Okay, so when I say she leaned up on this fence, it was a chain link enclosure. bulged out with her weight, but I could tell she wanted scratching. So I stuck my fingers in there and I just started scratching. You know, as she walked, I just like moved my fingers and scratched her. Cats are cats. You know, if they got these spots, bigger or not, they got the spots. And I guess I hit it. And she came back, did it a few times. Fran turned around, looked. She goes, "Damn, Misha likes you." She started turning to walk away. She goes, "Come on, let me continue showing you." And then all of a sudden, I got hit by like 1.5 gallons of what I thought was water. But it was Misha spraying me, inducting me into her pride. Basically telling Fran that she wanted me to work with her and her kids. So at least that's what Fran told me. And Fran owned her. So she instantly said, "You're at the top of the list for being a tiger trainer for the new babies." And I was like, "Cool." But it wasn't my call. It was Misha, the Siberian. She's the one who okayed me to be around. I was there for Ren Fair. I had no intent whatsoever of being around big cats that can eat me and all this other. And the lions hated me, dude, because I used to go back and forth. I used to feed her and shit. And in part of my duties of feeding Misha and Nadianana, and Sultar was a 3-month-old Bengal. That motherfucker's paws at 3 months like this. He was fun to play with. I'd get in there, have him rolled over on his back, and he'd be like, "Row, row." But he was like 90 pounds or 60 pounds at 3 months. He was big. But I'd go to the lions to feed them full chickens, right? These motherfuckers would charge the fence, look right at me, start growling and roaring and giving that fucking lion's roar that you hear in the wilds of Africa on TV. And then this motherfucker charged the fence, and there's only 2 chain link fences between us. I dropped those chickens, ran like a chicken. I said, "Fran, fuck those male lions. The male lions wanted to kill me, but the females loved me." So I stayed away from the male lions with the big manes and shit at the Mobile Zoo. Those badasses wanted to kill me. They did not like me one bit. But
That
I
would
guess
have made a good
male.
video.
But yeah, Neil running away from a fucking lion in a double cage. Yeah, that would scare the shit out of anyone, man. A big old lion. 2 chain link. That motherfucker could charge that fence if he'd have known how heavy he was. He could have busted through those individual fences and I'd be dead. Fuck that shit. I said, keep them some bitches away from me. I'll deal with Misha and the tigers. You keep the lions away. Go away. So I only worked with the tigers. Lions, I didn't have much luck with. The male lions are the only ones I was around, though, not the females. But then again, the Siberians are more solitaire. They don't really pack like the female lions. So that might be why she liked me. And why
I would want to make sure they're very, very well fed.
Oh yeah, no, I understand those guys who bred those white lions. That those 2 gay guys who did the circus thing, who actually one day got paralyzed by his lion. I understand why they do it because they're beautiful. Fucking, if I had the money, I'd raise those. I'd start a rescue for large cats. I taste like chicken. Because Sultar, the 3-month-old Bengal, was given to Fran because the owner was some rich dude who got it for his daughter and didn't realize how much that fucker ate, and it kept growing. And he realized he was going to have a 400-pound beast on his hand because the Bengals are smaller than the Siberians. They're 400, 450. Siberians are 650. But they eat a lot of money. And the guy was like, "Holy shit, at 3 months he was eating him out of house and home." So he gave this little 3-month, and I don't know how the guy got the license to buy it or anything like that, but he was able to buy a little fucking baby Bengal and gave it to his Mobile Zoo. I got to play with that sucker. That was fun. But then I had to come back out here to California because there was no money in the renter. Actually, the guys who made the most money was the zoo because the publicity we brought him. He went from about 1,200 people a year coming to the zoo to about 12,000 a year coming to the zoo. So his business increased, which is good because the animals were better taken care of and whatnot. But I had to close down the Ren Fair and come back out here and do iron work where I could get more money because there's just a bad atmosphere as far as for people. They're more redneckish, not too much, there's not that many into medieval type shit. They're more into Western Roundup type shit. It was just a bad area for me to open. It was a good learning curve. I made most of my money. I only lost like maybe 10,000. Good learning experience. It was about half a year's college. I could have paid for half a year's college or started a business and learned something. I decided to do it the fun way.
Yeah, I think Chad's right there too. Just before the bears are going into hibernation, they will eat an incredible amount.
They will eat anything to get their weight up. You got to realize they're going to be, they got to eat for what, like 90 days worth of meals because they're going to be sleeping, not moving for 90 days plus. And yet they're still going to be using calories, even stay more calories trying to stay warm in cold weather. So I'm very fearful in the mountains of caves. Mountain lions. Oh, ooh, yeah. Mountain lions are back attack motherfuckers too, man. They go right through the back of your neck. Cougars, yeah.
So Neil, has Independent Many come up on your panel yet?
No, she refuses to because I will accuse her of using an AI computer on the word games on your channel to kick my ass. By the way, JM's word games is a freaking awesome, fun time if you ain't got nothing else to do. It's awesome.
You like that?
Oh hell yeah, man! I actually like just having fun. I mean, I as you well know, I'm usually on the lower end of the scale.
Well, I figure a lot of the time people are actually multitasking. You know, they're doing this, they're doing that. And they may participate in one card or one game and not the next. And a fair amount of people come and go too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I come and go. You know,
Right.
that's what I like about your thing. It just keeps going. I can roll in there in between me coming and going, doing my thing.
The other thing with that game I'm starting to see is obviously there's a limited supply of words in its library.
Right? Yes, you're able to keep up with them and know which ones go before the game starts. Or see it and go, oh, I know this one. Yeah, that happens.
For anyone that's not sure what we're talking about, there's
a called cheating, JM. Cheating, you're a cheater, just like Independent Many. You guys get together on the phone and share words. I know it.
It's kind of like Scrabble.
It is exactly like Scrabble. Except for the words already down there, just mixed up, and you got to make a lot of words out of those letters.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure Indy just has a really good vocabulary. And what did she say? Because she works with, like, she's a teacher working with.
I think she works with her kids a lot, and they test her.
Relatively young children. And what did she say? Half the time when they're spelling words, it comes up the way the letters all come up scrambled on that game anyway. So she's used to sort of deciphering, right? Which made a lot of sense to me.
You know, if I had a supercomputer helping me out, I'd say that too. I just like messing with her. I like messing with you too. You always seem to get the big word like right before me, man. Like your name will pop up, mine will be right underneath it with the same fucking word.
Yeah, I try to focus on seeing if I can land the largest words right away.
I don't focus on anything. I just look at it and see what word comes to me right off the bat.
Yeah.
And every time, that's why I think it changes. I think that's the whole point of it, to increase your ability to see words in the scrambles.
It does.
They change it up. It works that part of your mind. That's another reason why I like that game.
Yep. It's a nice break from, more serious subjects.
There's too much serious shit out there. There's been like 2 freaking more revolts in Africa. Yeah, I was like, I ain't gonna do a report on this. It's too much bad stuff. I want to report some good stuff.
Yeah,
that's why I haven't done any video, because I get discouraged too.
That's right. And you got to be careful what you're focusing on. If you're spending a lot of time on the heavy material, it can drag you down.
Yeah, because you see so much potential, and then you see the sickness kick in of humans, and it's just like, man, it's a simple fix, dude. But there's so many games going on. There's a pipeline, gas pipeline running through Nigeria, Niger, and one other country there.
Zambia?
No.
I pronounced it wrong on purpose for you.
Oh, thank you. But they've been. This has been going on for a while, and no matter what the conflict is going on in those countries, this pipeline has had no problem. It's just weird shit. Obvious stuff if you think about it, but whatever. It's all staged. I think it's people playing their lives.
Well, I think a lot of what we get from the media is theater. It's like the soap operas that when I used to go over, to my buddy's place when I was growing up, you'd see the mom and the daughter sitting there watching General Hospital or whatever the soap operas were. And they don't realize it's pre-planned like 2-3 years in advance.
I like what Homestead Aquarius said when he said divorce my soul from my body. I'm thinking, no offense to any women out there, but when he said divorce, I thought of an offense between a man and a woman, not an animal. Sorry, maybe that's why I'm single still.
That's a similar effect, Neil.
Yeah, that's. I was just honest and talked about it. Sorry about that. But I got a kick out of it. That was a good statement, Homestead Aquarius.
If you go through a human divorce, it will divorce your soul from your body.
I've seen some pretty nasty.
I had a woman do that to me before. It took a long time to recover. Sorry, JM. What?
Oh, I just said I've seen some pretty nasty divorces. Really,
dude. I just
outrageous.
what's that? Fucking that white rapper guy who started shit. Ice something or other.
You talking about the dude from Detroit, Kid Rock?
No. It's just it was a rapper guy. He did
Ice Ice Baby, whatever the guy who sings that.
Yeah, that guy. He's now into fucking real estate, and for some reason, it came across my YouTube channel. I've never no interest in this dude whatsoever. His name's never come across any typing that I've done. And
it's Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice.
That's it. And a show of his, he's into real estate, right? And he's like fucking going through how he bought this like $2.5 million house for $1.8 million just by walking up to the guy's door. I watched like 5 minutes of it. I'm like, dude, that wouldn't happen to anybody else. Why are you just trying to get out there again? So watch out for Vanilla Ice. He's trying to get his name out there again or something.
I've seen him on those flip shows, and he's quite entertaining actually.
Yeah,
but he does. It looks like he does some good work too on those flips that I've watched.
Yeah, maybe. I like I said, I've never watched anything that have anything to do with him, and it just came across today on my feeds. So I watched it for a little bit, and I got a bad feeling about it. But like he sets up his stages, his shit, Like divorce case. I guess it's possible to go out there and I don't know, man. That just seems a lot like ambulance chasing for a freaking lawyer,
John B's got the right idea.
The fact that Vanilla Ice goes and gets people in distress to sell their place to him at a lower price. Is that the theme, Neil?
What was that? I was reading John Beatty's statement.
I was going to say, was the point you were bringing up is Vanilla Ice goes and talks to people who are in the midst of a divorce and gets a bargain on their real estate.
Kind of sleazy, isn't it?
Yeah, if he's doing that,
bottom feeder.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. As I said, it's kind of ambulance chaser type stuff.
Gotcha.
You know, that I don't know, man. I'm finding as I talk to everybody, I'm learning about myself, and I'm finding I have a moral compass to money making. There's a lot of things I can do that I just don't feel right about doing that way. And I'm waiting for my way to come around, I guess. I don't know. But I don't know. I'm finding might be why I'm poor still. I have morals.
Well, and there is a decent argument or debatable side on that too, right? Like capitalism is about taking
What's that?
advantage of labor, right, at a cheap rate and making profit off of them. That is capitalism.
Yeah. And another form of capitalism is letting a lot of people into your country and then changing administrations and incarcerating them all to drive up the price of Geo Group, who makes money off of incarcerating people. So if America incarcerates about 5 million people next year, say, Geo Group should like 300x it. And maybe that'd be why all the billionaires are buying up that stock. Maybe.
I actually owned that stock when it was a high dividend stock, and then it tanked and they went away from the dividend model.
100% Jake. Yeah, and but right now a lot of billionaires they've had to have changed up because a lot of billionaires are throwing. Warren Buffett and a couple other billionaires are buying up that stock, and I always pay attention when they buy, and they always buy, especially Warren Buffett. That motherfucker, he's like me, man. He'll tell you about something 2 years before it's going to happen, and then start buying it, and you'll be like, "What the fuck's he doing?" And then it happens. You're like, "Holy shit, that's what he was doing."
Yeah, part of it is they know how to game the system too.
Right.
Well, stick for tack. When he lost on the fucking train deal for all that oil shit coming from Canada and Northwest America down the pipeline, and instead of his oil rails, it went down the pipeline. Then they canceled the pipeline as retaliation and all this other shit. It was big money fighting each other for how to get the oil down to the refineries.
Well, Berkshire owns Union Pacific's railway, so
yeah, he wanted to rail it, and they wanted to do a pipeline.
Yeah.
So there was a battle of rich people throwing money at the fucking politicians to get whichever one there was. It's like I equate it to the land barons during the railroad times. Guys would go in advance who knew the route because their friend was the guy running the railroad, and they'd buy the land in advance, start a town there, and then the railroad would come through and they'd make a lot of money. Land barons.
Do you remember
what's going on?
back 10 or I think it was 10 or 15 years ago, T. Boone Pickens he was promoting the Pickens plan, the energy plan, and a big part of that was wind. And come to find out, the Pickens plan was basically corporate welfare. He wanted the federal government to invest into DC power to his wind farms.
Well, what do you think EV? What do you think Green New Deal is? It's a government.
Oh yeah, it's a slush fund.
The only reason Elon Musk has made as much money as he did and is doing what he did is because the government allowed subsidies for these electric vehicles for the innovation that he could bring to it. But he knew he was going to go bankrupt, which is going to Tesla probably will end up maybe not going bankrupt, but they're going to do a severe turnaround over the next couple of years because the new technologies are coming out. They're going to lose probably 50% of their market cap, on average. Because if you have different power plants coming out, like I did a report on the Cummins diesel engine last year. Cummins came out publicly and said we're no longer making our well-known and popular diesel power plant engines. We've stopped. We're not doing it no more. And no one, I got like 30 views. And I just did a show about 2 weeks ago or so where they introduced their new hydrogen biodiesel power plant, and they were installing it into a semi. And they said, this is the one we're building from here on out. How much more clear do you want for the direction? That's not electric. You got was it PG&E out here where I'm at, Pacific Gulf and Electric? They're investing in the road system to power electric vehicles. As their trucks drive over them, they'll power their electric 18-wheelers. So now you've got a power company investing in electric truck powertrains. You've got the largest diesel manufacturer going hydrogen biodiesel. So there's two power plants that, electric, hydrogen biodiesel, and then combustion engine. And they're probably going to come up with a fourth one. And all of those new marketplaces are going to cut into the EV marketplace. And seeing that they're new, they're probably going to capture a lot of the market cap until something's discovered about the technology that makes it not as good as projected, and then they'll lose some, and some other new technology will come along right behind it, until we end up with 3 or 4 choices in vehicle power plants and possibly even home power plants to power our houses. And that's what's going to come here in the near future. Like I said earlier, I'm hearing talk of depleted uranium being used as a power source. Wow. Hey, you want to know who's got the most of that in the world? Russia and America. Wow. Hey, wouldn't that be a great conspiracy if the nuclear arms race was just actually a ploy to get us to manufacture a lot of shit that we would never use, so we'd have the waste product for a new energy source of the future? Well, fuck me silly. That sounds like the nuclear arms race. But we haven't got the energy part of it yet. But it's coming. Because why else? Yeah, no, it's coming. I've heard talk of it coming. Years ago, I heard about the diamond-coated nuclear cell for power, but it was just a fleeting thing. But when you hear about things in science magazines and science papers and shit, discoveries, and it's repeating, you're trying again and again, and eventually it's going to happen. And they've been trying for some sort of a uranium cell power plant. And for that, they need possibly osmium or diamond coating. Both will be expensive, but all you need is a little battery like that to power the energy needs of a house.
See, but they've already got all sorts of nuclear-powered vehicles, like nuclear-powered submarines.
Yeah, but not cars.
Right.
So you're thinking too big. I'm talking something that big. Single cell, 2 cells of uranium encoded with diamonds puts off shitloads of energy and is not radioactive and encased in a diamond coating. They're looking for other coatings right now that are better. But if you can have that and stick that in your breaker and it produce the power instead of coming in through the grid, then you don't need grid power. Your little diamond battery powers your whole fucking house.
Hey, man, do you think that would be potentially EMP resistant?
I'd have to look into that.
Like,
I don't think so, because of the chemicals. You need lead or iron or steel, a Faraday type cage, and I don't think a diamond coating, although strong. And I don't know. Well, if you look at a microwave oven, stops microwave waves, and what it's made of is some sort of steel encapsulated thing. Then you see Faraday cages have some sort of either fibrous steel or rebar type steel and concrete. So I would think right off the top of my head, without putting any research into it, I'd say no, but I would have to research it because I'm not sure.
I'm thinking right now, someone should build vehicles that are EMP resistant, because I think
that'll never happen.
Tremendous amount of demand for that.
That'll never happen because then the government could use the shut-off switch on you. No, I have not anti-attack. I have not talked about cleaning up gold with magnets.
Oh, everything discussed on this channel is for entertainment purposes only.
No, I'm a professional. I went to 72 years of college for basket weaving and special ed home repair. Can you tell? I'm kidding, of course.
No, I was just thinking, in case the YouTube algorithm takes offense to you talking about not being able to shut off an EMP vehicle.
Oh,
System.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
But I digress from time to time.
I do that all the time. I get squirreled. I'm like, squirrel? What? Oh, hey, what were we talking about? The price of tea in China. What? Anyone else want to come at the panel? I know we chased off Independent Mini real quick. I caught her with the supercomputer. She didn't want to hang around and answer questions live.
I think Indy's a good sport. She's a good sport.
I wouldn't keep messing with her if she wasn't.
She's got a great channel too. Great person.
So what's the next topic, gentlemen?
I don't know. Do a poll. Have you tried doing a poll on your live stream yet?
Nope. How do you do that?
Why don't you? You got to go to your YouTube tab.
Okay, I'll go to the YouTube show on YouTube.
Yep, like where you pin the StreamYard link.
Yeah. Pop
Go
up
there.
chat, send feedback, time, participant, community, participants.
Down at the bottom, down near the bottom where you would type in something if you wanted to chat, it should say there should be a plus sign there or engage your audience. If you
Oh,
wanted.
okay. Start a poll.
Yep. And I don't know how to do it other than yes. You can have a yes or a no answer, and then you can add an option too if you want.
You guys are gonna like this one. Like that? Or
Yep.
just- that'd be-
It worked. It worked. I see it. I didn't vote in it yet because I was thinking maybe you should put another option on it, but it's too late now.
Yeah. Well, it gave you yes, no, and the third option is I don't know. I put that one in.
Beautiful.
You know, to my defense, I got 6 votes last time. I'm doing better. I gained 50% every 4 years. Another 100 years, we're gonna win. If I'm alive.
Well, and if they don't put some limitation on to how old you like right
Oh,
now, if you were 104 years old, could you become president?
It all
Theoretically?
depends on your mental fitness. As long as you were better off than Joe Biden is, I'd say yes. And he
See?
can't walk, talk, or chew bubblegum. So, you know, it's kind of fucking low standards for president nowadays, bro. What's up, Annie?
Hey, Annie.
Yeah, I might. As soon as now, Chris Marcus has that fucking, and he still hasn't gotten back with me. He has the. Nope, he hasn't got back to me yet. He
So I
has. He has. I've got a couple cuts of that commercial I made, which is stupid as shit, but I did it anyhow. And he's supposed to let me know something about it. As soon as he does, Ron's Basement will probably play it before his show. That's a show that Annie Oakley is a moderator on. And hopefully Arcadia Economics will play it too.
I used to watch his channel quite a bit.
Chris
Martin.
is a cool dude. I like Chris.
Yeah. Did you see his video when it was maybe 2 years ago, and where he was living had that ice storm and everything iced up, and then the power went out?
When he was in Mexico?
I think it was before he moved to Mexico. I think that's part of the reason he moved to Mexico.
No,
Was
he
when-
moved to Mexico because he was suing the United States government. He didn't want to stay in the country. That's what I thought.
Okay. Well,
And then he went back to the country after they said, no, you don't have a case. We're not going to take it. Even though he had proof and everything. The corrupt system said, nope. They ended the case, and then he moved to Florida. So I was always under the impression he moved out of the country because he was suing the United States government.
okay.
And that actually would be kind of prudent in reality, especially looking at how the IRS and the FBI treat Americans nowadays.
I got to take a quick break, but I'll be back in a couple.
No, you cannot.
I
Okay.
mean,
2-minute hall pass.
Okay. It's easier to beg forgiveness than to ask permission, though, right?
It's not a show where you even have to ask, brother. It's freedom reigns, man. Just make sure you don't reign your freedom inside your barn. Take it outside. like the dogs and cats, or use a kitty litter.
I heard that.
Let me catch up on chat here. What video was that, Jake? Oh, okay. Let me catch up on chat even further. Yeah. So, Wealth, are you still around?
I am here.
Oh, you didn't take a nap? I thought I heard a
took a
story.
nap.
I thought I heard.
No, that was just one of my cats.
Oh, okay. I got actually two of the little suckers parked behind me here. Where are they? Oh, there they are. Right there. There's two of them, and the rest of them are on the bed right there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6 of them. The seventh one is out front. I'm probably going to have one on my shoulders here shortly.
Yeah, Annie, I hope you get better. Sinus infection is no fun.
I cannot tell you what to take for that, but I've got a strike on before for telling people what to take for that. So if you remember what I said to take way back when I got the strike, take that. It'll get rid of it within 24 hours.
Yeah, there's several things. We
ain't talking about
I'm not
strike.
Oh, I'm not going to give a solution. I'm just going to say
Okay.
I had chronic sinusitis for several years, and it's like an elephant stepping on your head. But anyway, the solution, which will not be mentioned, actually helped me fairly quickly, and drugs did not do it.
Yeah, don't look too far. As a matter of fact, I just saw today on a congressional hearing. It was amazing. He was a Democrat questioning these guys on pharmaceuticals and how they keep flooding the patent office. And for this one drug that they lost the patent for in 2018, they filed like 174 patents on the process to stop generics from being able to manufacture that drug, even though they don't have a patent anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what Congress is hitting on right now, because that actually is a problem.
A lot of times what they'll do is when the patent's about to expire, they'll make a slight modification to the drug to basically cover the old drug.
Yep.
It's slimy. John's solution.
Well, that'll make you sleep good at night. That's for damn sure.
I'd replace the Crown with some Jack, but that's just my taste.
Dude, I stay away from Jack and Jim.
I like both of them in moderation.
I haven't drank in over 30 years, but when I did drink, I didn't drink either of those two, because on both occasions that I did, I don't control myself well when I drank. I drank, and
I had a friend who used to jokingly say he only drank moderately, but his saying was, "I only drink to excess."
To excess.
Only drink to excess.
You're gonna go down. See, now why you jump up there? You don't get down. Yeah, the only two bad outcomes from previous nights were both either a Jim or a Jack night. Vodka, tequila, anything else, I always had good next mornings. But on those ones, it'd be like wake up, you're like, what the fuck? Oh, hell no, I ain't touching that alcohol again. Let me try something else. Rum. Ooh, rum is good. I'd have been a pirate in the 1700s. I loved rum. I used to drink it by the gallon at a what was it? It's called the Night Owl. It opened at 1 o'clock. It opened at 1 in the morning and closed at 5 in the morning. It was a bring your own alcohol bar. Oh, what the hell? There's a type of name for that bar. I forgot though. Pretty much it's a speakeasy. I actually discovered I like the sours, the amaretto sour or a whiskey sour. If I like just have one drink, that would be it.
Yeah, whiskey sours, very pleasant.
Yeah, they're good. Actually, my favorite's the amaretto sour. But if they don't have amaretto, then I do whiskey.
Yeah, I don't drink much hard liquor anymore either.
Yeah, that's not what I heard. Independent Mini was just here talking shit about you drinking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she
Well,
admitted,
I do from time to time. From time to
she
time.
she admitted she uses an AI computer when she plays that game too.
Oh, here we go again.
I'm gonna teach this guy vocabulary and English, and he's gonna help me out.
You got to record that. That would be a good video
Yeah,
on the computer, winning at that words game.
have your fucking headbutt me and I get the word right.
Sure. So I take it you're not very much into football then, eh?
Absolutely not. I see it as a national felons league. Excuse me.
Uh,
You know, when guys can beat their wives, electrocute dogs, carry guns into bars and get into fights, and they keep their jobs and are still praised by our youth. Nah, I'm not with that.
It's a bad scene.
yeah, I used to love pro football until they started disrespecting the country, and
Pretty
that bro-
much.
that broke me of my addiction, which
And
I consider a blessing because
yeah,
it's bred in a lot of sports is part of the circus is part of bread and circuses. So I like participating, but watching anymore, nah, I don't do it. It saves me a lot of time and money.
I agree 100% with the bread and circus.
sweet, John Biffy.
Absolutely.
I quit in '96. What's up, Art?
Hey, collector.
So, what do you guys think about my thoughts on how to look at which metal to invest in as far as price of extraction and minting comparatively to what they're selling for?
No,
You mean in regards to it being if it's under its production costs, the
Or
price?
over? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like silver and gold, they're still making good money on.
Well, that's actually, if I think back to something which your favorite guy Rick Rule talked about, talked about.
He's actually changed his fucking talking about platinum.
Hold up for just a second. I'm going to back your point up. So he got me into uranium by the same argument that you're making on platinum.
Okay. Yeah, and that's it's a viable argument. If it costs more to make than they're selling it for, no matter what the it is, unless it truly is shit that produces from human beeholes, invest in it because it's probably gonna make money. It's like when I wish the fuck I'd have bought oil when it was at negative. I should have bought $1 million worth of this shit. That was a free give me. Oil at $0 a barrel. I'll take 1 million barrels. How much do I owe you? Nothing. Cool. Right on.
I know my brother bought someone that was down around 5 during that whole thing.
Man, I wished I would have. That's all I can say.
I don't know that you actually would be able to, like, because it actually the trading price of it went negative.
Yeah, no, it's
So,
like
like in that event, if you're buying the futures contract, they should actually have to pay you because it's
Yep.
to take the contract.
which means, and you know that's not going to happen. So you know the worst case scenario is you'll get it for the exchange cost.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Wow.
maybe behind closed doors that did actually happen. And
It
people-
probably did happen if you knew the trader, or, you know, yeah,
Right.
I'm sure a lot of people that happened for. I mean, yeah, it's like a job sites. I get shit at the end of the job sites. No one else in America gets the option to get because I'm there. It's a job site. It's ending. They're going to do something with it. I'm the one who gets it. You know.
In fact,
kind of thing.
the house, I think the house would have taken it, right? The brokerages would have,
Yeah,
because everyone's selling
probably.
down. And so they get paid to take everything back and then they sell it back out. And what's it at now? Oil price.
What? Say that again. I'm trying to read what the anti was saying here.
That's okay. I was just saying it would make sense that the house check the contracts, right? They're all
Yeah, and then resell them later for profit for the fucking you know, the brokerage account or whatever unit the house is. You would think. I mean, if I like say I was at Charles Schwab and I saw a deal like it go to zero, fuck yeah, I'd be like, boss.
The only reason that I heard that happened with oil was because there was so much coming through. There was storage issues, so there would have been liability if you would have actually had to take delivery.
Yeah, but you know, check this out though. See, this is where you play. It's like WWE, the Triple H. Play the game. You play the game because you know you buy that oil. You know someone's gonna pick it up because you're the small fish. There's bigger fish than you that don't want to be in that position. They're gonna make change. You just ride the wave. Play the game. Play the game. Get a little fucking drop of it and consider yourself lucky when shit like that. And another thing about that, that's an indicator of the fucking end of the market also, in my opinion. When they do what they did to nickel and then what happened to oil, my God, man, you want volatility. Look at a 10-year fucking chart and tell me what they did with nickel and stopping the trading of it here recently in the past 2 years, and then oil doing what it did. I mean, these are like uncharted waters and no one's talking about it. So, you know, it's all a long play. Hey, how did you lose everything? Slowly at first, then all of a sudden. Well, we're still at slowly at first, but it's coming up on that all of a sudden because there's been indicators out there, and part of that is that oil going to nothing, them stopping the nickel trading, that crypto dude getting busted. All these are part of the indicators of the crash coming. You know, 30 to 50%. Be ready.
Hey man, you got 12 votes in your poll.
How do I get a hold of the?
You got to go back to your YouTube tab.
Yeah,
do not hit end poll though if you just want to take a look at it. I've done that accidentally a couple of times. But yeah, it looks like the majority of people think that we should run for POTUS.
yeah, 67%.
Yes, sir.
All I got for an option is end poll. Let me get rid of this. Unpin that. Oh, there we go. No, still end poll. Hold on, wait. Yeah, no. All I got is end poll. I got one. I do not know. I need to do some convincing.
Hey, Gerald, good to see you. Anyone else I missed?
25% said no. They must be Democrats. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding.
Well, I almost clicked on I do not know.
I was expecting everybody to do that or say no.
I ended up clicking on yes, just, you know.
Well, you're a foreigner. It doesn't count. Oh, no, it does count more. You actually count twice.
Yeah. No, I'm not illegal.
Oh, that's right. You didn't come across the border yet. Come across the border on voting day. They'll count you twice.
Southern border.
Oh, he's got to fly down to Mexico first. Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, you get a nice weekend in Cancun.
Oh, hey, you might get a $5,000 gift card too.
I
Might
had
be
a
worth
ton of
it.
fun in Cancun.
You gotta learn. You gotta learn a foreign language though. You can't be speaking no English now. No habla inglés, maricón.
and,
And
for
Puerto Vallarta.
a free hotel in New York City.
I don't
No,
think I'd move to New York City though.
dude. Shit, I'm thinking about going down to Mexico for a week, get a good dark tan, shave my hair off so they can't see it's blonde. Come back and go, "Was ist los? Scheiß drauf."
Give me free money.
So you'll go down to Mexico and then return speaking German.
Why the fuck not? Right? This is Neil you're talking to, buddy.
So you're going to go over to Germany and start speaking Spanish.
Why? Hey, how the hell else can I accommodate Joe Biden missing Egypt and Mexico up? You know what I'm saying? You gotta come together somehow. I want to join in. It looked like he was having fun.
Well, that's Brandon. He's a special breed.
I thought it was the drugs he was on, man. I don't know.
Well, that too.
Those old people drugs are potent, bro. What's up, Gerald?
His memory. I've been following him for decades. His memory's never been good.
Hey, Auntie, what I said sounds exactly what you wrote, except I spelt pole, P-O-L-L. But yeah, you're right. It sounded
That's because he's thinking about that squirrel pole I've been talking to him about putting up in the backyard.
Could
Do
be.
you have one of those spinning squirrel poles that keeps him out of
Dancing
the bird feeder?
pole. Right on top of his little fucking table back there, put a little fucking corn cob. Man, them squirrels be dancing all over that son of a bitch.
Yeah, I've never been to New York City. The closest I've been to is Buffalo, New York.
Dude, I would stay away from New York City personally. Because if there's one place that's going to get, I personally, in my personal opinion only, if anything's going to happen in a mass area for biggest effect on all arenas, it'll happen at New York.
Yeah, they like one after New York City.
Yeah. I in my whole life, I've had plenty of opportunity. I was there. I had to go to Kennedy Airport on a change of flights to go to Europe. Other than that, I stay out of New York City.
Hey, Christopher. Good to see you.
Chris, what's up, my man? But yeah, hopefully here shortly I'll be able to have my commercial out there so you guys can buy some cheap ass platinum.
Looking forward to seeing that commercial.
Oh, it's fucked up, man.
Not good, or?
I don't think it's good, but I don't care. I gave it to Chris. 2 different takes. He can pick whichever one he fucking wants. I think the necessary stuff is there.
Mm-hmm.
I could damn sure improve. I'll say that.
Yeah, well, he can definitely edit out the stuff, that you may think was lower quality. You can just cut that right out.
Yeah, I don't know how any of that even works. I jumped in doing this shit as like, I don't know, independent fucking filmmaker who I've never been before in my life, and star of the show, which I've never been before in my life, and I just went ahead and did it. So
that's awesome, man. I'm proud of you for doing that. I think it's a great opportunity, actually.
Well, yeah, why the fuck not? If not you, who? Right? Fuck. Give it a try. If nothing else, I'm older, I can fucking laugh. Say, see, I thought I could. I guess I showed me wrong. You can't laugh at yourself, Fuck it. Give it a try. First one sucks. Second one might be a little better, I don't know. It was unscripted, just fucking ad lib. Fucking, I was tired of waiting to do it. So I was like, fuck it. Let's do it right now.
Get it out there.
Yeah,
Get her done.
Yeah, get it done, because fuck, we keep fucking around waiting. Shit, man. People are already going to be fucking buying this shit, and it's going to be a no-brainer by the time my shit gets out there, and then I'll have lost that chance. We'll see. What are the points of correction? What are you talking about, Chris? No, New York was never nice. I advocate staying away from New York City, personally. I would go down to fuck. If you think you'd like New York City, go to Atlanta.
I liked Boston.
Boston's nice.
Boston's a good
I've
trip.
actually been to Boston. I haven't been to Boston. That's where they had the Big Dig for like 10 years. I was there before that. I was there in 95, I think it was, way before they started the Big Dig. But I kept up with what they did on the Big Dig, and apparently that place is freaking phenomenal now. Took all that skyrise fucking railway and made it park and walkway with small businesses here and there. It's supposed to be fucking beautiful. Of course, while they were doing the work, they had shitloads of problems with rats, but that's what you get when you do digging, put a tunnel underground. You get rats.
The one time I was in Boston was for St. Patrick's party.
I was disappointed in Benjamin Franklin's fucking area.
What do
It
you
was
mean?
cool, but disappointing.
His area?
Yeah, it was like I was walking down the road looking for it, and not a tourist. That's an iron worker off work, a city real close by. I was just like Aberdeen, Maryland, and so we just took some time off, did a little drive, and it was right, a couple hours away. So we're looking for this place, park, and looking for this place, and what that back then, there was like little arrows on the ground, and you like turned into this alleyway, and then you went, and there was a stairwell that went down. And that's where all this shit was, because it's like his old building and stuff had already been destroyed, built over, and everything like that. So they had none of it. So they, wherever, they had a small little location where his place was located, and they went underground. And that's where all his like museum stuff is. I was kind of disappointed in that, but city's got to grow, so whatever. They did it in a nice manner, but I was just disappointed because I expected it to be more highlighted as a spectacular place, not something that you walk down an alley and then have to go down a spiral staircase to get to. I grew up in the South. Atlanta was a big city for the area. Tallahassee was crap. New Orleans sucks. So what subject are we talking about now?
I just pulled up a screen there for you showing a chart of oil prices. And like I'm sure you guys remember that the price went negative.
Yeah, it's right down there.
Oh yeah, briefly. Very briefly.
If you'd have held it, you could have held it for a week. They would have not. You would not have expected to take delivery and see what happened to the price in that 1 week. You'd have made so much fucking money because everyone else is. You're not the only one that have been buying. Say you got $100,000 worth. There's people out there that was getting $10 million worth.
Well, and I was going to say the price chart doesn't show it going negative anymore, but now that I zoomed in on this, it actually does. It is showing negative 37 at its lowest point. Okay. The reason I was showing that was because I actually thought that they weren't showing it go negative anymore for this longer term.
See, but that right there, look at that one chart. See where the anomaly is. It makes you look at things and how they're going to fall apart. Where is that normal on that one chart for it to go down that? Where's the past indicators? It went below its all-time low. You know, I mean,
Oh
where's
yeah.
where's the chart? Where's on that? Where's the closest fucking thing that you could base what happened off of from all these explanations that people give you on how to read charts? How's that fucking work?
Yeah. And then it was $115 like 2 years later.
Yeah,
That's right. So technical analysis cannot predict or help you with that,
yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
in my
And
opinion.
there's a lot of that shit that doesn't explain what the. That's why I like geopolitics because you
Until
wonder.
you're right here. Once you're here, then they can tell you how this predicted it, but they can't tell you when you're back here.
But probably geopolitics probably could have. You probably could have seen some sort of indicator that it was happening, something that was going on with OPEC or something. Because it's all about during an economic war, it's all about how you can fuck the other guy out of making money. I mean, we can figure that out by how we're like freezing assets and shit, And you can tell when they get serious when they start doing it to us. They haven't done it to us yet, and I found that very strange.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember back in the '80s when we had before the Soviet Union fell, it was always a tit for tat. If we kicked out their ambassador, they kicked out one of ours the next day. Russia hasn't responded economically to our fucking sanctions yet. To them, they haven't sanctioned any of our shit. They haven't taken any of our people's money. They haven't done none of that shit. So something weird's happening. I just don't know what it is. What is Tartaria?
I just looked it up. It says Tartary was a blanket term used in Western European literature and cartography. I don't think that's it though. This is
We haven't done no writing. What are you talking about?
Tartarian Empire. Believers in that conspiracy theory are convinced that the elaborate temporary fairgrounds built for events like the Panama Pacific. And then
Elaborate, Chad. Elaborate, Chad. Come up on the stream, brother. Let me see if I still got that. There we go. Oh, the Empire. Tartaria Empire. Is there a Tartaria Empire? Or is that part of Carthaginian? Let's see, Tartar.
And then mud flood hypothesis comes up on that as well. Like mud fossil. But I don't know. I've not heard of the Tartarian Empire before.
Tartary. I got something here from Bloomberg, actually. What the fuck? Okay, JM. How would I share a screen for another tab that I have open?
Yep. So just go down to the bottom in StreamYard and press present. It's just to the left of Leave Studio.
Present
Present.
and share.
Share screen. Share screen.
Okay. Screen.
Share screen. Hit the blue thing. Share screen.
Okay.
And then it'll show you the Premiere Chrome tab, but look for
got
the tab that you're looking for.
That right there.
Yep.
That's what he's talking about. Is that what you're talking about, Chad?
Okay. Okay, so that's the history of architecture.
Yeah.
Free energy, I think. Uh-oh. The
What?
1890 art collector wants me to talk about the 1893 World Fair.
Go for it.
I don't know anything about it.
Oh, fucking man, pull a ninja, bro. Hold on a second. What year?
1893.
93 World's Fair. The Columbian Expedition of the World's Fair?
Exposition.
Exposition. The World's Columbian Exhibition, also known as Chicago's World Fair, was World's Fair held in Chicago from May 5th to October 31st, 1893 to celebrate the 400th anniversary of Christopher Columbus arriving in the New World, which has since been, now there's something we can talk about. Marco Polo. Marco Polo has maps of America. Marco Polo made maps of America. He was around before Columbus. There is a, I don't know, it's not a conspiracy. Chinese old maps have America, the western coast of America, well documented on their maps. And Marco Polo, someone's doing a deep dive on him, thinking that he was actually a spy for the Italian government to spy on China and their competition. And he brought them the map that they had of Western America, and they sent Columbus to go check the other side, thinking that they would find what Columbus found. But it was actually because of the Chinese map that Marco Polo found of China discovering America way before, like 200 to 300 years. No, actually more than that. It was the Ming Dynasty, so it would have been 800 years before Columbus. And there's actually a rock wall that's 50 foot long here in California, designed in the same style of the Ming Dynasty when they were doing construction on the Great Wall of China, for which all of us know took 2,000 years to make. There's a 50 foot long section of it. It looks exactly like the Ming Dynasty section of the Great Wall here in California that no one talks about also. Sorry about that. You want to talk about architecture?
That's okay. You did a good job. Did a good job.
Sorry, man. I found that to be pertinent information that I just found out. I did a deep dive on that today. I was like, holy fuck, yeah, Marco Polo would have been the perfect fucking spy. And then he's the one, I found out he's the one who actually brought the map back to the Italian royals at the time. And then they sent out, not they, but they proxied and got England to waste the money to send, or Spain, or whoever the fuck sent fucking, I think it was Queen of Spain sent, Columbus, gave money to Columbus because it was a lot of money. Okay, hold on. Homestead Aquarius says Tartaria was a country eliminated from human history. I don't know. I guess it depends. Well, hold on a second now. Think about that. Whose history go to? The victors? So wouldn't it be obvious that there's quite a few countries where eliminated from history? No, that's the best way to actually learn true history is find out the defeated side of history and the winner's side of history, and you will come up with a more reasonable facsimile of what actually happened back at that time period. And if that's not a thing, talk with Long Lived Coins, if he's still here, because he does ancient coins. And believe it or not, ancient coins are a very good historical fact check. And if you do a fact check, what I mean is, if you have a coin minted, say, during the Holy Crusades, around that time period, say 1100s, in a certain city in the Middle East, and it's got a Christian king on it, and yet the Islamic history shows that they controlled that city at that time. And then if you look at history, you find out that the first thing a conqueror did was change the money system to show that their money system was now being circulated and not another the conqueror's money system circulated. And the further back in time you go, you'll find out their economies were smaller and it was easier to do because there's like 1,300 kingdoms. I mean, hell, England started out with like 72 kingdoms. They got whittled down to fucking 2, English and Scottish. But they all had their own coinage system. Same with the Middle East when the Holy Wars were going on. And Christian kings took over a town and were given the kingship of that town by the queen or whoever they got their kingship from. They minted a coin that had their face on it. So if that actual coinage is found, historically found, and you can go to a museum and look at it and tell it's got the Christian king's face on it at a certain time period, and you go to history and you read at that time in history it was supposedly controlled by the Islamics for like 10 or 20 years at that point in time, someone's lying. So watch out for history. Coins are a good way to fact check.
That's right.
You can't say, oh, well, someone from another town came by and lost that coin afterwards. No, it was minted for that. Look at how learn history and look at how the kingdoms were formed back then. You know, you had like very small amount of space for a kingdom, especially in the Middle East, because it wasn't controlled a lot by the English crown. They had small areas they controlled. Anyhow, that's a kickoff for Long Live Coins show, which he does a good show. And he does ancient coins and probably can validate what I said.
Yeah, he's super knowledgeable. It's amazing. It's such a niche thing to be in, I think.
But it's, you gain a lot of knowledge and history from being in that niche.
Oh yeah. Like I tried to educate myself and push myself through the learning curve on, even just constitutional and just going back to, 1950 and 1940 and all the different errors and intricacies.
I am living proof that you can enlighten yourself to the point of being well versed at any subject from not knowing anything about that subject. It just takes time and research.
Yep.
Because trust me, if you knew me 4 years ago, you would have not said Neil was a platinum guy or knew anything about platinum, because I didn't know shit about platinum 4 years ago. It was about 3 years ago. Something clicked in my head because no one was talking about it. Something just clicked in my head, and I started researching that shit. And I haven't stopped. So you learn something new every day. 365 days later, you've learned 365 new things. It's a good way to get to become well versed at something in 1 year, and that's just learning one thing.
Similar with me with silver.
Yeah, again, it's very easy to do. Just learn one thing about it every day, and if you learn 2, you can learn up to 700 things in a year, and then you'll be on people's talk shows because no one wants to put that kind of time into shit, which is kind of sad. But
there's a lot of distractions. I think it's very difficult to focus.
Yeah, that I drop back to life's full of choices and decisions. Choose wisely. If you want to take your time and do this, it's a choice you made. And convenience, okay, yeah, whatever. It's the choice you made. Be responsible for that choice, good or bad, and the consequences.
And this show is not sponsored by the Words Game.
No, but we do promote it because it's a good game.
But it's addictive, though. That's
it's a good game. It actually.
I actually want to find an actual Wheel of Fortune that I can play.
They got those in Vegas, bro. Drop fucking couple dollars. Ching! Wheel of Fortune. That's Fast Fab Ironworkers, Art. Fast Fab. Actually, I can't talk about it because this is recorded. Sorry. Fabrication's easy. If you have to do on-job fabricate, lengthen beams, shorten beams. What makes it hard is when people start adding paperwork to it. Because for years, iron workers did, and still does that. There's a job here in this town. I am responsible for the architectural change-up on a hospital job on the third floor of their stroke rehabilitation center, because they were planning, and they had it all architectured out, all the steel in place, because they were going to put up a 1957 Mercedes right out on the balcony area where we had some nice stainless steel fucking line for plants and shit, and they had the door opening to where you could still open the door of the fucking building and be able to open the door of this little Mercedes. And then we were going to make the lift of this old Mercedes they had on the parking lot and put it up there. And then 2 days before that, the president of the company found a 1947 Kaiser, and it's a Kaiser hospital. He said, "Oh, we're getting a Kaiser." And we had poured, the concrete was poured and everything for the dimensions of a Mercedes, 1957 Mercedes. If you look at the blueprints of a Mercedes compared to a Kaiser, you will find that if you have a steel placement on beams set for the weight displacement of a certain area to be placed changes, you have to change all the steel. But if the steel's already embedded in concrete, you got to be inventive. So, and you also had to make sure that you kept distance for the door of the building opening and the car. So you had to offset the whole freaking skeleton of the steel structure by 2 foot. So I came up with the design and told them this will work. Let's do it this way. And they said, okay, do it. So we did it that way, put the car on it, everything else. And then a week or two later, the architects or the engineers came by and said, oh yeah, that's the way we would have done it. We put on paper. They had nothing to do with it, but they got paid more than me for my fix, you know. But I can't write on my resume engineer. But for 30 years I've been in ironwork, and I've done just as much engineering on high-rise buildings as any engineer who does one high-rise building. So don't discount people in the skilled trades. They're quite smart. And they love cats. Most of us. So he just wants to hug me now. You just want to hug? Okay, you're a good boy.
What are the differences? Art collectors asking you.
What are the differences from today's buildings and the buildings of the 1800s? Steel. I actually retrofitted a building. It's like the Kawasaki building, an 8-story building, brick, built in the 1800s in San Francisco. The base was like, it was an 8-story or 9-story, 8-story, 7-story, something like that. Brick building with wood columns on the inside. And at the base of the building, the brick walls were about 3 foot thick. And at the top, they were about 1.5 foot thick. So they built them basically the same way the pyramid builders built it. They had a strong base and then went up. And the inside columns were actually full redwood trees. The heart of them started out at like 30-inch square. And at the top floor, it dropped down to like 16 by 16-inch square wooden column to help hold up all the other wood. And what we did was we drilled into the wall at an downward angle of like 5 degrees, and we installed these pieces of steel all the way along the inside to help keep the bricks from falling during an earthquake. And we took out the wood columns and replaced them with steel columns. So in the 1800s, it was brick and wood in high rise, and they only went up to about 12 floors was the highest they could get by stacking brick on the outside, starting at 3 foot, going to like 1.5 foot at the top after like 8 floors. So you couldn't get much higher than that. And then steel came along and everything changed. Everything changed. That's when they started destroying off small buildings and going for the 30, 40, 50 story. And where all buildings nowadays, all high rises get building, why I say no more about buildings than engineers, is because maybe 2 of the high rise buildings in San Francisco that have been built in the 27 years I've been out here were built by the same, well, maybe not, most likely not, but possibly built by the same engineering company. Ah, here comes Stryker. Oh, he's got claws. See, there's Stryker.
Earning his name.
Yeah, it's his name, Stryker. They're hardly built by the same, most likely not built by the same engineer, to where I've built 13 of those high rises built by 13 different engineers. So who has a more actual practical knowledge of engineering? One engineer who designed one building and didn't work on it, or one iron worker who worked on over 13 high rises and 13 engineers' blueprints. Sounds like I have a wealth of knowledge. I wanted to say nations, but
Sounded like, yeah, I saw a plug coming.
I was trying to fit it in there last minute. I was like, nah, ain't gonna sound right.
Come on, you had me hanging. You had me at wealth.
Great.
Both of them are looking in the same direction. There must be something out there. Hey, you guys got a kiss for me? You? Huh? No? Okay. You? Okay. What's my opinion on the World's Fair? Oh, I never quit reading about the World's Fair. All World's Fairs are good because they give you hope for a better future, and they display what technology at the time can feign you into believing is possible, which gives you hope. And if you have hope, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So World Fairs are a great thing. I went to the New Orleans World Fair. Oh, shit. Was it in the 90s? I don't know. When the World Fair was in New Orleans, I went to that one. And it had a lot of cool, innovative, creative things that got you thinking and gave you hope for a better future, that people were working on things that would do awesome stuff. You know, and that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to help create innovators and bring new ideas to the table for a creative, new, inventive future. Most of the time, if you go to those old World Fairs, most of the shit didn't happen because I'm still waiting for the Jetsons fucking car to come around. We still got these four-wheel vehicles.
Well, I think the technology's advanced a lot more than what we see for most civilian applications.
Oh, yeah, big time. And I think the technological revolution that is going to occur, which occurs during all wars, amazingly enough, will blow us away. But by the year 2030, it should be an interesting comparison to now as far as technology goes. There's going to be solar-powered jackets that just by wearing them outside will charge them up, and you'll be able to have your radio on your sleeve. It'll be able to totally heat you, all off the solar power from wearing the jacket outside. And that's where, energy is going to drop. And that's part of the innovation. They're going to have paint. They're working on paint as a solar generator, where when you paint your house, it'll have little electronic connections in that paint that'll gather sunlight and help power batteries for your house. What a better solar panel than that, right? And windows to cars, they're looking at doing that, making them into solar panels. I mean, there's all kinds of new inventions around. It's going to be cool the next 7 years, 6 years.
So I find it's already tough to keep up with some of the technology.
Yeah, it's moving pretty fast. I look at for future stuff. If you look at what is it, like Navy? Was it Navy Ship International Channel or some Navy News or something like that? Military news type stuff that gives forecasts. Because even the military puts out forecasts of what direction they're going to be pushing for. And the Marines right now have a plan to fuck with China hard and change up the whole Marine Corps by giving up all of their artillery and all of their tanks and going for smaller automated units, whether it be air, sea, or land units that could support like a 100-man unit. And,
right, unmanned drones.
Yeah, have unmanned drones in the water, air, and with the men, and come up with like 100-man units and drop them off on the islands in the Indonesia Pacific. Because if you do that, basically what you got is you just created, like, say, if you've ever heard of the Ripsaw, it's a new tank design. It's a platform. It's 100% electric, and it can be automated. And you can have missile on it. You can put an M1 Abrams tank platform on top of it, and it only costs $750,000, to where the M1 Abrams platform costs $5 million. So technically, you could have 5 of those to replace one tank, and you could airdrop it from a plane with a parachute onto an island. And then if that happens, and there's 100 Marines on that island, fortifying an island, and there's a missile system on that thing, then they can automate it through 5G, whatever. Take it to the other side of the island and start shooting at ships and planes and stuff. And whoever shoots at it, they can use their actual manpower and that military force to shoot back at the shooter. So it's a 2-for-1 kill, which, if you look at expensive war, makes it too expensive for China to expand into the Indonesian Pacific range. So they're actually looking at that as a realistic goal, because we have this new awesome mortar that goes up to 75 or 77 kilometers, and it's directional. Those things are freaking awesome. And it's like we gave some to, I think, the Taiwan. You can like be shooting at the mountain and hit the other side of the mountain with artillery pieces. And every other artillery piece in the world only goes up to like 50 kilometers. So it's like a totally revolutionary game changer, along with the munitions. So a lot of things are changing to where we're going to be downsizing our military with manpower, which will save a lot of money, and automating it with robotics, which also save a lot of money.
Were you still talking about the Ripsaw tanks?
Yeah, and that's just one of them. They've got Australia's got a couple of automated submarines that they can stay underwater for years, and they're just loaded with fucking missiles and shit. Just waiting, and you could know it's there, and then think, oh, a year later, is it still there? Nah, it moved. No, it's still there.
I pulled up a picture of.
And then you got these fucking what they call loitering drones. Now you can actually add that to the platform of the Ripsaw too, to where it fires anti-missile, anti-ship, anti-air drones that'll fly around for a couple weeks in one location until it does its job, or until it runs out of computer space, or however it ends its career. And it can protect that 100-man force just like a fucking F-22 flying above. Holy shit, technology is great. And they're expendable. And I've done reports about the F-22 having 32-foot-long Predator drones, 12 of them flying with one F-22 pilot and navigator. So now you can have one pilot and navigator in charge of 13 F-22 missile systems. Holy shit. Now you've turned our 500 F-22 pilots into 500 squadrons. Wow. That's one hell of a fucking Air Force right there. No, we're automating everything, man. It's pretty cool. Scary.
I just
cool.
shared a screen for you of the Ripsaw tanks there. For if anyone.
Oh yeah, they're badass, man. They're badass. The Howe brothers. I was watching them like 8 years, 9 years, 10 years ago, and then they went dark because they got a fucking contract with fucking DOD. Yeah, that thing rips it. 55 miles an hour, goes over water and shit. It's so fast. And that's the platform. And they're changing it up to where it's unmanned, so they can add all kinds of shit in there to make it more automated. And the whole top of it's what's known as a platform. You can put anti-ship missiles, anti-tank missiles, a mortar round system on top of that, drone launcher on top of it, where they've got this thing. It's a platform that launches 2 different types of drones. It's like 12 and 24 drones. One's anti-personnel, one's anti-armor. But that configuration there is it's a human configuration. All that space there, take that space away, put your computer shit in there, and then throw an armament system on top of it, and you just cheapened the American military's price tag. Yeah, that's the reason why, Chad, is because this type of technology. Like I said, $750,000 for a Ripsaw platform, to where an M1 Abrams or tank platforms are $5 million, with shitloads of fucking maintenance needed comparatively. And these right here, these Ripsaws, they've made them to where there's no humans needed. And the M1 Abrams, you need 3 people, so you have to have room in there and ergonomic shit and all this other stuff that adds cost. I've already seen the breakdown. Doing the Ripsaw will save the military 80%, 75 to 80% over an Abrams tank by using that same platform that you see there and just sticking the Abrams tank part of it on top of it. It's amazing. It's amazing what's coming around the corner, man. It's going to shit shock the world. I mean, it ain't going to happen overnight, but it will be happening. And it's a way to balance a budget. Because if you drop the price of the military by 75%, well, they're taking about $1 trillion a year. So drop it from $1 trillion to 250 billion, and you're saving over 10 years, 7.5 trillion. You can knock off the deficit. Holy shit. What? So yeah, you can knock off 7.5 trillion. And then quit spending 5 trillion every 10 years on illegal aliens, and you just knocked off 12.5 trillion. Now it's down to 21 trillion. And all you did is cut. No taxes increase needed. And then at that point in time, your tax revenue is more than your payments. So you could actually physically pay it off without fucking with any of the politicians' slush funds.
It's interesting. I didn't verify this, but I read a comment in Sal's live stream. Someone put a comment in there that the alleged gold reserves in Fort Knox but what's alleged is equivalent to something like 3 days worth of federal spending.
Yeah, no, it's 1971 said there's no gold in there, man.
But that even if there was, it's really just a drop in the bucket.
Why the whole purpose of us going off the gold standard was because we didn't have no gold in there.
At least, yeah.
Why are people still talking about this shit? It's a fact.
Yeah,
we left the gold standard because Germany called us on their fucking gold and wanted it. We said, it'll take us 10 years to get it to you because we don't have it in Fort Knox.
Yeah, I think it was the French, but that was
whoever it was. Some country wanted it, and we publicly stated we didn't have it, and we have to change money systems because we were caught with our pants down. And we changed money systems to the one we have now. That's how it was created. So where's the problem here? Do we forget how this was created? This right here was created because we didn't have fucking money in Fort Knox. We don't have gold in Fort Knox. That's why we have this. So let's talk about Fort Knox. What money in Fort Knox? What gold in Fort Knox? There might be one day, but there ain't none today.
Yeah. No, the point simply was that at the rate of federal spending anyways, even if there was what's alleged there, it would be negligible anyway.
Yeah, we're real close to it. Can't pay back-stage by the income brought into the payment of it.
Yeah, and the idea, so the federal spending, is through the roof. I mean, $2 trillion deficits a year. But I think the idea of Fort Knox was it was sufficient to cover all the currency that was out there. The gold backed all the currency.
Banking rules determine how much currency is worth. If you can leverage it 100 times, then, well, fuck, your currency is worth a penny. Because it's leveraged.
Well, the dollar used to be redeemable for prior
before they changed banking regulations to allow them.
Prior to Roosevelt. So foreign governments could redeem it, but citizens could redeem it prior to the mid 1930s. I can't remember how much it was for an ounce, but it was a set amount, $20 an ounce.
Now, see, that's one thing.
Yeah, it's $20.
That's another thing. Motherfuckers don't want to talk about this shit. You love the silver. You love the gold. You want the prices go. Well, if they peg the fucking price of our dollar to silver, it's got to be stable. It ain't going to rise and fall much at all. It's going to have to be stable because you can't, just like the argument for BTC not being money. You can't have your dollar being worth 67,000 one day and 30,000 the next day. You can't live like that.
Well, I think it's perfect.
Stable.
It's perfect the way the U.S. Mint has it right now. You know, an American silver eagle is $1 and an American gold eagle is 50. And
Platinum's 100.
cha-ching.
Yep. Another point, in fact, for going for platinum, not only is it the cheapest of all the metals when it comes to only percentages of price to mine and mint to price to sell, it is absolutely the best one to get using that dynamic.
I think that ratio is perfect. I think that ratio is actually, what do you call it? Not eternal, but I think that's a long-term viable ratio.
Yeah, just another
stable, right? That can be a stable ratio that the entire world, in my opinion, could agree on.
Should be able to, and everyone should be buying platinum. But wait till my commercial comes out so I can benefit from it, and you can get a cheaper price.
Right, and at that point, each dollar would probably have the purchasing power of at least $50, in my opinion.
Well, here's a funny thing.
Equivalent.
If I have to sign, and I haven't done any contracts, I'm one of those old-fashioned dumbasses who you can fuck real easy. I'm a man of my word, and I'll start off doing business with you just on a handshake until things get going. Then, you know, money starts coming in, then you need contracts. Okay, we'll sign them. So I haven't done any contracts yet, but if a contract comes up, I'm going to be requiring payment in platinum. I'm not going to accept dollars or any of that shit. I want to say, hey, you know, whatever percentage, whatever I get, just keep saving it up till I can get it in platinum, you know, a 10,000 coin, whatever. Because I want to be the first dude who gets paid in platinum. Like that fucking football star in Miami who got paid in Bitcoin. Well, I want to get paid in platinum.
Yeah, I think Anti-Ajax right there too about the Vatican holding proportionately large amounts of gold.
Oh boy, howdy do they ever. They have raped and robbed Central, South, and America of so much freaking wealth before we knew what was going on. I wouldn't be surprised if they have something to do with the Smithsonian.
And Homestead there about the Platinum Eagles being $100 is that foreshadowing. To me, it just seems like a natural ratio. So I don't know that it's, I guess it could be foreshadowing.
Annie, it's not an I hear. 2 years ago, the Vatican told all of the Catholics around the world to start send the Vatican all of their money, all of their wealth, all of their gold, all of their silver. It's all going to be sent to the Vatican. It's an actual fact. It's not a rumor. It's not an I heard. They actually, the Pope dictated that, I think 2 years ago, for all of the diocese to send all of the wealth to the Vatican. What wealth means, I don't know. I figured it meant trinkets like, you know, artifacts of gold or silver or St. Joseph's skull or, you know, whatever the hell they hold, you know, whatever. All artifacts and everything. The Vatican called in and said, nope, I'll come into the Vatican. Sorry to stop the conversation. I just wanted to correct her on the I heard. It's not a heard, it's a fact.
It's all right.
And it wasn't people, it was the diocese. He told all the diocese. The difference of that is that means the church, not the parishioners. And the church is the one that holds those golden crosses that are worth millions of dollars, or those, what is it, Sunday when they bring the wine out in that golden goblet and shit. That thing's going to the Vatican, that kind of stuff. That's the difference between the church and the parishioners being called. You know what? I don't even keep up with the popes because I know the history of my Scottish family, and well, hell, we fought against the Catholics. So sorry. You know, it's called the Jacobite War. We were on the losing side. No, hold on, wait. Well, it depends on which war. We won a few, we lost a few.
Oh yeah, Anti-Intaglio Mint has a great reputation. They've got some fantastic products. Absolutely.
I tell you what, man. I'm gonna start. Before I even interviewed and Long Live Coin interviewed Ian Mark Silver. I was watching him cutting up that 1,000 ounce bar and offering all these new products and shit, and I knew he was a good guy to get to look into. So I don't know as far as prices, but as far as unique things like a 50 ounce slab of a 1,000 ounce bar, unique things. I think Arc Silver and Ian is a good place to look for his. I don't know. I'm sure his prices are very competitive. It's not sponsored. I just like the guy. Then he broke away from that Rob guy in Texas. I didn't like him. Gold and Silver Pros. Because I can tell you what, right now, here's something no one talks about on these precious metals. Once the price goes up enough and it's sustainable at a higher rate to where it breaks that barrier where it's going to maintain in the 30s or the 40s or the 50s or whatever the hell higher, once it hits a certain point, you're going to see a lot of new mines open up and a lot more availability of silver, because the way economics and companies work and the way they get all these numbers is off of the way companies work, and the companies work off of profit margin. And they'll tell you right now it costs $13 an ounce to get because it's at a certain level of depth. For us to get to it, it costs yay much. For us to get deeper, it's going to cost more. But there's a lot down there, but we don't figure that into our figures, so you're not going to get that into the figures, so you don't consider that. But you have to consider that if you want to invest. You got to consider what they don't want you to consider, which is when the price goes up, yeah, there's going to be a lot of silver mines opening up that aren't there now. They're just more expensive to get to. Just like Clean Air Energy. They're not starting drilling for platinum yet. They said the price is too low. They're going to wait till the price goes up. That's another indicator that the price is going to go up because you have a company ready, waiting to go. So the way economics works, it's not about economics, it's about people and who has control and who is losing control and geopolitics. So yeah, it all comes together. But that clean air energy is going to be a good company to be around. We need to get Annie a 5-minute hall pass. She's going to be right back. Sorry, I go off on these tangents. I don't know why. I have an open platform. That's why. It's the Han Dynasty Show. Yes, they would, Homestead Aquarius. And as far as underwater mining goes, that's a no-go. They'll have to get to it from the ground and come down and around. There's too much new life forms out there that they've discovered by trying deep water mining. And I did a video on that as well. That's how I know about it. It was like 17 companies. They went down, discovered like 5,000 new species we never knew about. And the first thing that popped in my head is environmental lawsuit. And then they quit. Because I guess their lawyers thought of the same thing. It was way too expensive and way too much liability. And that is what drives business. And as we're watching our government right now, for those of you here in America, numbers can be fudged. Prime example of how real business works and not the business you're taught in school.
Well, you know, Neil, there are 3 types of lies. Lies, damn lies, and statistics.
Pretty much, yeah. Poll statistics, yeah. There's just a perfect example of this poll I gave. People who vote for me, they don't want to vote for me. They just want to, they said that because, right, you know, they think, yeah, you know, he's a nice guy. I'll say this. But they won't vote for you. So it's not real. And I wouldn't vote for me either because I don't stand a chance in hell. But if you're going to throw your vote away, shit, throw it my way. You know? You don't want to vote for the other two guys, whoever the second guy's going to be, or girl, or whatever gender they decide to throw up at us. Homestead Aquarius, lies, damn lies, and the things she said. Must be talking about Hillary. Sorry, I had to throw that one in. I tell you what, we all need to send Soros' son a thank you letter for taking Chelsea Clinton off the market. Thank you for taking her, sir. We didn't know what the fuck we were going to do with that female. Yeah. History's going to show this to be interesting times, guys. That's why I always say be kind, helpful, and grateful. Because these are interesting times, and during interesting times, history is written.
Well, you know the old Chinese curse, may you live in interesting times.
Uh-huh.
We're living them. Yeah, in my estimation, we've been living it since for about almost 25 years now.
You know, it depends on where you want to start with that. You know, you can go back as far as the start of, you know, like 1913 or whatever, Jekyll Island bullshit. You can go back to the start of the Social Security Administration, or you could go back to 1971 and change the money system, or you could go to the PSYOP shit, which is what you probably talked about 25 years ago. But, you know, that's where do you want to reset start? You know, yeah. How far back do you want to go to reset? And what's it going to look like? That's why the real bad people never get punished. Because real change probably will never really come. It's just going to be a version of the old, a little bit skewed to the direction that we fought for it to be in. You know. Oh well, just become wealthy and it won't matter. You'll be one of the ones eventually, if you make enough wealth, that can make the change. So just remember, be kind, helpful, and grateful. I hope like hell one day I'm a multi-millionaire. I'll be fucking like, it'd be nice. Actually, a dream of mine is to buy a whole fucking town, all you know, like 80% of the housing, and fucking fix it all up and let people live there for free because I have so much money.
Like Larry Ellison did with the island of Lanai, buy all of it.
Yeah, but did he let people live there for free?
Oh, heck no.
See, that's the problem with him.
that's how billionaires don't do anything for free.
Yeah, you know, that's probably why I only would be 100 millionaire, not a billionaire. I think everything needs to change. I think people's perspective of wealth needs to change. I think everything needs to change. The whole dynamics of money needs to change and the use of it. But I doubt my vision will come around.
Well, it's tough. You need a means of trade. Like
you're always going to need a black market. That's the bad problem with this setup that we have. Mm-hmm. Is every politician will tell you every look through history, and if you know what to look for as you're reading and looking through history, you'll be able to tell there was a black market in pretty much every part of history. And the reason why is because to have a good guy, you need a bad guy. Or if there's any corruption, you need a bad guy or a black market. So anytime there's a black market, something hanky's always going on. And there's always a black market. So the whole system's wrong. But it's the one we've had for millennia.
Well, I think that's part of humanity, right? There's
this.
Greed.
We haven't advanced this. Everything, all this technology we advance like a motherfucker, doesn't matter. This is what we need to advance and
well,
get over.
As King Solomon said in Ecclesiastes, there is nothing new under the sun.
You know, let's make something new, a new system.
Well, he meant.
I know.
The wiring in your gray matter. It's been the same since the beginning of time.
It's just we haven't been using it because of greed. We haven't been using it.
Well, that's what it's wired for, unfortunately.
No, that's where Satan comes in and makes it used for. That's not what it's made for.
So that's actually
well, I said wired for.
Wired. Well, okay. Yeah, greed is a part of. But see, until we use 100% or even 25% of this gray matter, because the most I've heard any scientist or anyone say is we use 15% of the gray matter. The rest of it's just like I don't know what it's for. But as soon as we start using more than 25% of our gray matter, things will never change. And we need to start changing the way we do things so we can increase this usage. And right now, from just my experience in school, we're going the other way. People are using less of this, and it's getting from 15% down to 7%, and that's not the right direction.
I wonder how they quantify that.
I think it's through electrical impulses, because it's synapses pathways, and they always stick those EKG things all over your head to check electrical impulses, and then they like poke your finger and ask you to think about certain things, ask you to feel about certain things. It's all to check where the electrical impulses are firing, and I guess through time they've analyzed the different parts of the brain and what they're for. I guess. Is that what you were asking?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that does sound right. I think I've heard that before. I just forgot.
I would very much love to believe that if I said it, it's accurate. And if it's not accurate, I'll say I'm not sure. But of that, I'm kind of sure. It's the synapses pathways, and also what happens in the brain. They found in brain damage that your brain can actually, and this is part that we need to figure out. Your brain can take part of your brain that's damaged and go through part of your brain that's not used for that and create new synapses pathways that'll do the same thing as the damaged part of the brain.
Yeah, it will adapt that way.
Yeah, that's how people recover from some strokes, some serious strokes.
Yeah, but it takes rehabilitation. Yeah, that's because you got to. That's why they say you relearn shit. That's because a part of your brain died, so you got to reprogram and make these new synapses pathways workarounds through the damaged part of the brain, so you can get back to a normal functioning. So the brain, man, it's amazing what our brains can do. We're taught to limit ourselves by schooling. In my opinion, schooling limits us. It puts low achievement factors to every age group that needs to be fucking elevated through the roof. Well, the younger, the higher.
To Annie's point, I agree, Annie, regarding government-run schools.
Hold on, what?
Look at Annie's comment. She said government-run schools suck bad.
Oh, you need to check out Vallejo, California when it comes to that, girl. We're fixing to go bankrupt again because charter schools have kicked off, and our public school system is so bad that we lost 60% of our students to charter schools, which is a good thing. But for tax revenue thing, the way they do their paperwork thing, it's not working out in the school system. The public school system might be shutting down in Vallejo because the school system was so bad. When the charter schools came along, their curriculum was so much higher and so much better. Everyone just took their kids out of the fucking public school system and started sticking them in charter schools.
Well, we homeschooled all three of our kids all the way from
Best
K
choice
through 12.
Ever. Best choice ever. If I ever have a kid, man, I'm gonna make a crib that has fucking the right wavelength and pattern, and then the sound of the great philosophers and the great mathematicians from like age 1 till age 2. That motherfucker's going to get nothing but program because he's a wet sponge. He's going to be filled with all kinds of shit. He's going to come at age 3 when he learns to talk. He'll be like, "Dad, you're wrong." I'll be like, "What?"
You'll have some Marcus Aurelius and some Seneca on speakers on the corner of the crib, so he gets he gets to listen to the great Stoics.
Yep. All before he can speak. And I'll be having Chinese and fucking Arabic and Russian and German, so I have a little understanding of all the languages. So by age 10, you'll be like graduating fucking fucking Ivy League college with magna cum laude status.
That'd be Doogie Howser.
Nah, we'll be on our island. I'll be like, see, son, that's how easy it is. One trade, you made $10 million. Your life's over with. What do you want to do for fun now? Work while you're young and then fucking retire early. Everyone does it differently. They have fun till they're in their 20s, and then they have to work the rest of their fucking life. Work while you're young, man. Get this shit over with.
Now, a lot of people, there's a big, it's called FIRE. It's basically, I can't remember the first two words of the acronym, but retire early. So there's a big drive in a segment of the population to grind early on and retire early.
Well, it's just a thought process. And I don't know where other people stand on this or what they remember, but I was taught that you needed 3 retirements to retire comfortably. Social Security, your job, and something else. I don't know when that was dropped or when people quit talking about it and everyone thought Social Security or whatever would be enough or whatever. But we need to change people's thinking on how things need to be done. You shouldn't have to you shouldn't. Now, I understand a lot of people don't have it up here to do this, but you should be able to be entrepreneurial enough in your area that you're at to fill some niche that'll make you more money than working for someone else. Bottom line, because if you're working for someone else, they're making money off of your labor. And the government, the way it works, force someone else to work you, to pay you. They have to pay workman's comp. They have to pay insurance. They have to pay this. They have to pay that. So it costs them twice as much, or 40% to 50% more per hour to have you paid at that hourly wage than you working for yourself. Then they have to add in their profit margin for the work they had to do to get the job, to get you the work labor needed to do. So if you think about it, if you cut out your boss, you can triple your pay. Because one thing people don't realize is if you work for yourself, you don't need workman's comp. And that could save you 40%. It's easy.
That acronym that you were looking for, the Wealth for FIRE, is financial independence.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks, Jan. Financial independence, retire early.
You notice Independent Mary came in when JM needed that supercomputer she has at her desk. Just saying.
Independent who? I don't know an Independent Mary.
I don't know why I'm stuck on that.
Who are you talking about?
I'm so stuck on calling her Independent Mary. You need to change your name to Independent Mary.
Independent Mary is from Nambia.
Exactly. Well said. Yes. From time to time, Neil's pronunciation may or may not intentionally be a little bit off.
That one was a total Freudian.
Well, and if your monitor's not very big, like the first several times that I saw Independent Many, that N can very easily be mistaken as an R.
That's why I don't win that typing word game. Because I see your name as Mary, young lady. See, so that's a psychological ploy you pay on people when you put your name up there. I see what you're doing. Uh-huh. She's like, I want to see how many people I can fuck with. I'll put Independent Minnie and they'll think Independent Mary.
Sounds like you may have a little dyslexia, Neil.
I have a little dyslexia. My S's and C's, dude. Every time I'm spelling, not every time. I'd say maybe 30% of the time I gotta say to myself ABC. Oh, it's a C, not an S. Because I get my C's and S's. They'll always my whole life I've had problems with C's, and I don't know why. So I'm thinking it's a type of dyslexia.
So I don't know if you guys in the States have this organization, but here in Canada, there's an organization called MADD, MADD.
Yeah. Mothers Against Drunk
Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, yeah.
That's right. So I told my mom, I said, I just started up a new organization, and it's called DAM. It's Mothers Against Dyslexia.
That's all.
Do you want to join?
Clever.
It's like that.
It's too late to make me think, JM. You got to stop doing that.
Oh, I love the 1 second pause though, because for a second I was like, "Oops, maybe I offended somebody." Right?
People are thinking, like, hold on a second. You're spelling it out, going, that's backwards, bro. Oh, it's a dyslexia joke. Takes people a while to. That was a good one. It's like, why did the chicken cross the road? Well, he crossed the road to get to the idiot's house. Knock, knock.
I'm not the idiot.
You got that one, Muscle Nations?
Good catch.
It's one of those kind of jokes.
Oh, I got a really good riddle, but I don't want to put you guys through it.
Do it.
Okay. There's a road in the middle of nowhere that leads to a T intersection. And there's a house right on the far side of that intersection. To the left, the road goes to Damascus. And to the right, it goes to nowhere. So you want to get to Damascus. And the thing is, in the house, there's two brothers. The one brother always tells the truth, and the other brother always lies. So you have to go up to the house and ask the right question that you will absolutely know which way is the way to Damascus. What question would you ask when you knock on the door, not knowing which brother will answer the door? The one that always lies or the one that always tells the truth?
And you have to ask only one question?
You can only ask one question. But you need to get to Damascus.
But you already told me it was a left.
That's right. I'm telling you that, but assuming that you don't know.
But the traveler does not know.
That's right.
Okay, so from this perspective of not knowing that left is the correct way.
So I could have said that one way goes. I should have said one way goes to Damascus and the other goes nowhere. I shouldn't have actually specified left and right there, but it doesn't matter at the end. That made it a little more confusing for you. So that is a really good riddle, and I can provide the answer right at the end of the show, just before we shut her down.
Here's what you could do. Oh, you don't know. I was going to say you give them tell the brother if I know it's to the left. I was going to say tell the brother or go and say. So I heard I'm trying to get to Damascus. It's to the right, correct? But you wouldn't know that going in.
Well, and the thing is, you don't know which brother is going to answer.
That's the other part of it, because if you ask a question, I was going to ask a question of if I were to go right, which way would that lead me? But how would you know if he was going to tell the truth or not?
Unless you know that's right.
Is this a
They're
Canadian
identical.
thing?
They're identical twins.
This must be a Canadian thing, because the last time I heard a riddle like this, a Canadian told it.
Oh, no.
They have a lot of time on their hands when they're snowed in, for 9 months out of the year.
When your tiny bits are frozen, you got to come up with something to entertain yourself.
When you hear when people hear the answer, there's a pause because you got to think about it, and then a lot of people will actually debate or argue the answer, but it's actually very, very clear and concise, and everyone that understands the riddle, the question, will go, "Oh man, yes,
First off,
that's it."
I'm Neil, so I wouldn't ask. I wouldn't stop. I would take whatever direction. Say if I took the right, it would drive me around back to where I came from, so I'd know to take the other way. I wouldn't stop and ask.
Okay, so say you're on a limited time and you have to get there. You don't have time to waste. You can't go the wrong way and realize you went the wrong way. You have to decisively know which, for sure, is the right way to go. And I'll tell you the answer if you want to know right away, or I can hold off for a bit for people to have. Maybe someone wants to come up on the panel.
Hey, I could repost it.
I think it's pinned.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it is pinned. And now it's in StreamYard.
Have you ever heard about Henry Ford's hemp car? I have heard about that. Yes, Art Collector, I have.
You know, the first car created was an electric car by, was it Mercedes or BMW? I think it was BMW. It might have been Mercedes. No, it was maybe. I'm not sure on that one. But it was an electric vehicle.
Oh, maybe that poll is in the way of the StreamYard link being pinned. Or when you did the poll, it dropped the StreamYard link.
Let me handle that.
From being pinned. I mean, hey, Gerald. Yeah, we're still here. We've got a riddle in play, and I'm willing to restate the riddle, or if anyone else wants to, just to make sure you're clear on it. Okay, Art Collector confirmed it's pinned, so you're good. Sorry, man.
Well, what?
The link is pinned.
Okay, I just picked it, I think.
Yep. Yeah, and you ended the poll. So 64% of those that participated say you should run.
Right on. As long as I get a federal job, there's a pension that comes into it. I know how corrupt those fuckers are.
So I'm going to tell you the answer now because I think enough time has gone by. You're going up to that T intersection. You don't know which brother tells the truth all the time and which one always lies. You knock on the door. Whatever brother comes down, it doesn't matter. You ask the question. If I asked your brother which way is to the way to Damascus, which way would he point?
That's okay, Indy. The supercomputer wouldn't have gotten it, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, you missed the riddle. Dang. She might have got it. I'll tell you, the riddle was you're in the middle of nowhere. You come to a T intersection. One way goes to Damascus, and the other way continues further into nowhere. There's a house right at the far side of the T intersection with two twin brothers. The one always lies, and the other one always tells the truth. You have one option to knock on the door and ask any question to figure out which way it is to Damascus. But you don't know which brother will answer the door. What question would you ask to know for sure? You have to ask. Yeah, say, if I asked your brother which is the way to Damascus, which way would he point? The one that always tells the truth knows the other one always lies, so he'd point the wrong way. And so what you do is you have to go the wrong way. Whichever way they point, you have to go the opposite way. The one that always lies knows the right way, but he always lies. So if you ask him which way his brother would point, you know. Well, yeah, so you're driving up to a T intersection just beyond the T intersection. Yeah, sorry if that hurt anyone's brain, but it's one of the best riddles that I've ever heard. Especially if there's a large group of people verbally talking. It's a little tougher through the chat room, but if you get a bunch of people working on it, it's actually um, a really good one. I've only seen someone answer it once. It took a while.
I would have said make a right because that's what Bugs Bunny did at Albuquerque.
Yeah, you can. There you go.
Wasn't it a left at Albuquerque?
It depends which brother you ask.
By the way, one day I will get Ninja on this stream. I haven't bothered him about it yet.
He was on once, but just briefly, right?
Yeah, he stopped by, see what was going on that one time. I wanted him up on the panel though, so we could fuck with him. I think that's why he's not going to come. As I had him busted up on one of his live streams a couple weeks ago, a week or two ago. Because it's hard not in person to get someone to crack up laughing, but I was able to get him and he actually busted nut laughing on his live stream, and he forgot. It was like a squirrel moment, and he forgot what he was saying because I made him bust up laughing, and I know he'll expect that if he comes in here.
So I just switched my background picture there to include Platinum and Mr. Nickel Stacking, who I've not seen in here tonight.
Yeah,
It's got some silver in there too.
He's not been in chat, and I don't see him wanting on the panel, so that must be on your screen.
Yeah, it is. It's just one of the profile picture things that I've got.
Oh, Constitutional Stacker's working his way up to getting 2 ounces of platinum. Hey, art collector, just because of the name, I take it you're going for an art degree? Accounting, okay. I figured art collector. He's going to get a job at a museum and steal the art.
Yeah, Auntie, you got it. Yeah. If I asked your brother which is the way to Damascus, which way would he point? And then it doesn't matter which brother answers the door, whatever way they point is the wrong way. So you go the opposite way. Yes, indeed.
Clever.
So no one else wants to come up on the panel.
I'm just about fixing to drop back down into the chat there because it's getting late, and the indica was really nice.
I heard you hitting it.
Yeah, it helps me sleep really well. Like once I fall asleep, I am out.
I have this by me at all times, man.
Always. I usually take 300 micrograms of melatonin, and that helps me get to sleep and sleep well.
Yep.
Right on.
Yeah, my sister was taking some of that too.
That's really good. I mean, your brain produces it naturally in your pineal gland, but it's kind of reminds your brain it's time to go to sleep.
I'm waiting for them to come up with a pill called Trip to Hawaii.
Trip to Hawaii? I was going to say that's As you alluded to, that's another thing I take, tryptophan. Tryptophan, yeah.
Good night, Christopher. Oh, hold on a second, Indy. So you just hardly are ever here, so I can't mod you. Let me see. Computer moderators. Nope, wrong one. Let's see here. As moderator. There we go.
Oh, I just got it.
Special girl. But if you drop the wrench on my foot, I'm taking it away from you. Oh, Independence. She's a moderator. She can drop it.
Yeah, Indy and Auntie are both fantastic moderators. It's
Is Auntie a moderator? Let me go over here to this other one. It doesn't show me who the moderator. No, Auntie's a moderator too. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I know. I felt it. Hold on, wait. It's over here. No, it's. Where the fuck's my heart?
For a second, Neil, I thought you were going to say you have to come up on the panel here first.
Oh, she won't do that. Her supercomputer said not to. And then it spelled it out.
In multiple different languages?
Just in German. I heard she's like trilingual.
I actually know a little bit of French. Definitely enough that I can.
Parlez-vous français?
You guys had to take French, didn't you, for several years?
That's right.
4 years?
Yep, they called it French immersion. It kind of moved around what the actual duration was, but yeah, I took mandatory French. I think it was 2 or 3 years I took, but I was put into a French class back in like here they call it kindergarten, which is just before grade 1.
Wow, that early.
Really early.
Je parle un petit peu français aussi.
Oui, oui. C'est très bien.
Oui. Merci.
Hey, Mary had a little lamb. Oh, that's not French. My bad.
Yeah, my French is definitely really rusty right now. But if I say I went to Quebec or even Montreal for a couple of weeks, I'd get probably 70-80% of it back.
It does. I find that's interesting. So I worked with some Canadian miners, and they were Quebecois, and I found being around them, my French came back pretty quickly.
Yeah,
it does. If I hang around Italians and they start talking, I start rapping right along. Within a couple hours, I'll be like asking them questions, partially Italian, and by the end of the day, it'll be.
Do you start adding vowels to the end of your English words, Neil? Neil, how are you doing?
Pizza. What are you talking about, though? You got to add O to the end of it, you know. Hey, are you all?
That messed me up with French actually was I took German as well.
Was ist los? Du sprechen Sie Deutsch? Nie sprechen Sie Deutsch. Ich spreche Sie Deutsch. Ich learned Deutsch.
What about German messed you up, Jan?
I'm not sure what it was, but I started mixing the two up.
I do that with Spanish and German.
You know,
usually it's the vulgar words that I mix up.
Yeah, I think like in a classroom and textbook is one way to learn, but I really think the best way is textbook, classroom, plus actually be in an environment where it's spoken all the time.
Oh,
Work
yeah.
Construction out in California, you'll learn Spanish good enough.
I was going to say, yeah. Listen to media, watch TV, listen to the
Work
radio.
construction in California, actually pretty much anywhere, I imagine. Anywhere in Texas, yeah.
Oh, anywhere in the U.S. I mean,
Pretty
construction.
much.
They're primarily Spanish speakers in construction and landscaping.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have very, very
um,
much problem with that. As a certified union safety coordinator, everyone should speak the same language. And they don't address that issue every time I bring it up at the meetings. It's kind of like swept under the rug. I'm like, but for safety, I need to understand what the Chinese guys are saying who don't speak English that are in 377 and are great welders, but don't understand English. And the Spanish guys who don't want to learn English, you know, what's up? If there's a problem, there's a safety alert, someone gets hurt and I holler out, tell them to bring something and they don't understand, that's a problem for safety. They don't care.
now,
This shows
fellas,
something else about business too.
it is 12:30, so
Yeah.
my pumpkin's leaving the station. I need to sign off for the night.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it since
Have
no
a
one's
great week.
come up here. Thank you
All
very
right.
much for showing up here at Wealth of Nations. I do appreciate it.
My
Same
pleasure.
to you,
Nice
man.
talking with you fellas. Nice talking with everybody in the chat.
Everybody in the chat, I appreciate you showing up, and I hope that I brought another perspective on how to look at precious metals and investing, as far as the cost to mine and mint to the sale price, and see which one is actually the best value. And with that, peace out. You guys have a great evening.
Have a great week, everybody.
And I'll see Indy and the rest of you guys on JM's game show.
Right on, buddy.
I'll talk to you later, JM, and everyone in chat. Good night.